So there I was, waking up with the world's worst headache, surrounded by a bunch of nervous strangers who looked like they were about to take the scariest exam of their lives. Some dude was literally praying to God, Buddha, and the Virgin Mary at the same time. Bro was covering all his bases. Then, memories hit my brain like a truck. Turns out, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I transmigrated. Yeah, like in those novels. My soul just packed its bags and moved into some other guy's body in a whole different world. And what a world it is. Here, the moment you turn 18, you get a magical talent, a fancy lord stamp, and they basically kick you out into the wilderness like, good luck, build a kingdom or die trying. It's like being handed a plot of land in a zombie apocalypse and told to make it cute. You can summon legendary heroes. We're talking Zhuge Liang, Alexander the Great, Kung Fu masters, the whole squad. Monsters attack your base, other players raid your stuff, and if your awakened talent sucks, congratulations, you're now someone else's farm. Literally, they'll grow potatoes on your dreams. So naturally, everyone in this line was sweating bullets. This awakening ceremony is basically the college entrance exam, except your entire future flashes before your eyes in 5 seconds instead of 4 years. Some guy burst out of the awakening room screaming about getting explosive warrior talent, waving his glowing hand around like he just won the lottery. Girls started sliding into his DMs in real time. Dudes from big alliances were already trying to recruit him. The man went from nobody to prom king in 3 seconds flat. Meanwhile, there's this guy named Chen Fong giving me the evil eye. Apparently his daddy is some big shot level 6 lord, and he awakened some fancy puppet tech talent. He was sitting there thinking he's hot stuff, glaring at me like I owe him money. Cute. Little does he know, the original owner of this body was literally ranked first in the entire school. Perfect scores in Lord Theory and martial arts. I've got the looks, the brains, and the muscles. I just need the talent to match. No pressure or anything. Finally, they called my name. I walked in cool as a cucumber, expecting some mystical shaman with feathers on his head chanting spells. Instead, it was the chubby dean of students, slurping tea behind a desk like it was a Tuesday afternoon at the DMV. Real magical atmosphere, guys. He handed me a shiny blue crystal. I stared at it thinking, this little rock is supposed to decide my whole life? Only one way to find out. I crushed it. Let's see what fate's got for me. So I crushed that crystal, and it exploded into sparkly blue dust like a discount firework. The little lights swirled around and started forming a pattern on my palm. While waiting, the chubby dean decided to give me the tutorial speech. Talents come in 3 flavors: attack, defense, and support. He even bragged about Chen Fong's puppet tech talent. Apparently the guy can build puppet armies and even turn dead monster bones into his personal robot collection. Cool for him. Gold star, Chen Fong. Then my pattern finished forming. A little fist with a tiny lightning bolt on top. Golden light flashed for a second. Pretty dramatic, honestly. But the dean? The excitement drained out of his face faster than water down a toilet. He went from, oh boy, it's the top student, to, oh no, it's a funeral, in about 2 seconds. He broke the news gently. And by gently, I mean he basically called my talent garbage to my face. Critical hit, dead last in the talent encyclopedia. It gives a tiny random chance of bonus damage. Even maxed out, we're talking a few %. Randomly. He literally called it a gambling dog talent. Thanks, teach. Real motivational speech. Then he waved me off like a used napkin. Go join some alliance, or you'll die. Next student, please. Didn't even get up from his chair. Just pointed at a box for my lord's stamp and went back to his tea. Incredible customer service. I walked out feeling pretty deflated. A transmigrator with the world's worst talent. The universe really said, welcome to your new life, here's a participation trophy. But then, I opened my personal Lord interface, and something weird popped up. It didn't just say, critical hit. It said, 100-fold critical hit, exclusive. I've read every single book in the school library and never once seen the word, exclusive, attached to any talent. Plus that golden flash earlier was definitely not normal. This thing might not be trash after all. I kept my mouth shut about the exclusive part though, because I'm not stupid. I headed to the selection hall to pick my landing spot, and the moment I walked in, this guy Su Jie, the only person in school who actually hung out with the original me, came bouncing over like an excited puppy. Bro, what talent did you get? Everyone nearby suddenly grew rabbit ears. The whole hall wanted to know what the legendary top student awakened. I just showed them my palm. No point hiding it. The school literally posts everyone's talents on a bulletin board anyway. Sujia looked at my fist and lightning mark, and his face twisted up like he was severely constipated. Critical hit. Yep. Critical hit. You could literally hear hearts breaking across the room. The school beauty who had a love letter ready crumpled it up and slam dunked it into the trash. The school heartthrob with flowers for me? Garbage. Gone. The Alliance recruiters who had goodie bags prepared walked away cursing like they'd swallowed a dead fly. My social stock crashed harder than cryptocurrency on a Monday. But Sujia. Oh, Sujia. That man is a professional bootlicker. A PhD in brown nosing. Even after watching my value drop to absolute zero, he forced the most painful smile I've ever seen onto his face. This guy spent years sucking up to me, and he was not about to leave without squeezing out the last drop of usefulness. Honestly, respect the hustle. Right on cue, Sujia hit me with the world's most backhanded pep talk. Don't be sad, bro. Even with a garbage talent, life can still be, not terrible. Just attach yourself to a strong lord, survive the early game, grind levels, save up resources, and maybe one day you can buy some mercenaries or something. There's hope. Probably, wow. Inspiring. Someone put that on a motivational poster. Then he dropped the real pitch. He knows some alliance run by a level 5 lord. All I gotta do is pick the same region as him, hand over my coordinates, and boom, we're buddies. He even hit me with the classic line. As long as I have food, you won't go hungry. Bro was practically reading from the scammer's handbook. His genius plan? Get me to pick the western part of the Central Plains, a place famous for having no resources, insane terrain, and monsters around every corner. New players who go there basically die on arrival. It's the uninstall the game, starter zone. But Sujia wanted me there as his personal meat shield. Use me as bait, steal my stuff, develop faster than everyone else. Real friendship goals. Then this mastermind suggested plan B. Let's go join Shinfong. Oh sure, let me go submit myself to the guy who's been jealous of me for over a decade and has the personality of a vengeful chihuahua. That's not joining an alliance. That's walking into a wood chipper feet first. I shoved his arm off my shoulder. I don't need to depend on anyone. Go make your own plans. His face went dark like a thundercloud. Without another word, he slithered off straight to Chinfong. Speed ran the betrayal arc in record time. Then the selection hall went quiet. Some deep-voiced dude standing on a giant pillar in the middle of the hall barked 2 sentences. Line up. Choose your landing spot. That's it. No speech. No encouragement. Just raw authority and scary eyes. I respect that energy. My turn came fast. 5 minutes to pick where I'd spend the rest of my life. The map showed 9 regions, the 9 provinces. There's the Central Plains, rich and competitive. The frozen northern Demon Marsh snowlands, where everything wants to freeze you and eat you. The western 100,000 mountains, aka death speedrun territory. Then 6 more, Han, Qing, Lei, Yun provinces, the Endless Sea, and the Shattered Star Archipelago. I was torn between 2 options. Central Plains, crowded, dangerous, but loaded with resources. Or Shattered Star Archipelago, private islands, ocean defense, nobody bothers you. Sounds perfect, right? Well, there's a reason nobody picks the islands anymore. Apparently some lord out there got caught doing unspeakable things with the fish people, and the guy who attacked him paid money to broadcast it to the entire world. Then more island lords got exposed doing the same thing. The archipelago's reputation is now permanently in the sewer. It's the Florida of this world. While I'm weighing my options, guess who shows up? Chun Fong and his goon squad, with Su Jie groveling behind them like a professional worm. They cut the entire line. Nobody said a word. His dad's a level 6 lord, and he has the best talent in school. Even the teacher on the pillar pretended not to see. Everyone else just grabbed popcorn. Su Jie was already trash-talking me to his new boss. I swear, bro, he just got that garbage crit talent. Total loser, Chun Fong sneered. Obviously, trash is trash. Then he yelled, "Hey, garbage," at me. I didn't turn around. Because why would anyone turn around when someone yells, garbage? That's not a name. That's a category. He yelled it 3 more times. Nothing. Finally he screamed, "Xiyu," and and I turned around with my most genuinely confused face, like, "Oh, were you talking to me?" I thought the man was going to have a stroke right there. He went on this whole rant about how I'd die within 10 days, couldn't survive the first monster wave, blah blah blah. Then he made me an offer. Call him master, become his servant, and he'd graciously let me raise horses on my own land. My land. For him. I looked him dead in the eyes. Said nothing. Turned back to my map. If there's one thing Chin Fong hates more than losing to me, it's being ignored by me. And I've been ignoring him for over 10 years. The man was about to spontaneously combust, but this was the selection hall. Start a fight here, and the punishment is brutal. Even the teacher only let him cut in line, nothing more. So he tried one last move. He saw my map was zoomed between Central Plains and Shattered Star, and laughed. You better run to the Fish People Islands, loser. If you pick Central Plains, I'll beat you so hard your ancestors will feel it. The whole room burst out laughing, because, you know, the Fish People scandal. I turned around, smiled at him, and said, when have I ever considered you worth worrying about? Then, with everyone watching, I slammed my Lord Seal right onto the northeast corner of the Central Plains map. Come at me. Right before the teleporter zapped me away, I looked Chin Fong dead in the eyes and mouthed 2 words, eternal. Runner-up. Then, Whitey, I'm falling out of the sky. My body went into autopilot, and I landed in a bridge pose like some kind of parkour cat. Brushed the gravel off my hands and looked around. Not bad. Green plains, moist soil, birds singing, flowers blooming. Sure, there were mysterious animal footprints and poop everywhere, which is slightly concerning. But compared to the poor souls who landed inside monster caves or beast stampedes, I basically got dropped into a vacation resort. Still, I wasn't about to build my empire on the first patch of dirt I saw. Grabbed a stick, clutched my Lord Seal like my life depended on it, because it literally did, and went exploring. An hour of walking later, I climbed a little hill and saw it. The spot. 2 mini mountains side by side, a cute lake out front, rocks and trees all around. For a brand new lord with 0 resources and garbage talent, this was a 5-star real estate listing. But here's where it gets insane. As I got closer, I noticed burned wood planks everywhere. Someone built a city here before and got destroyed. Their loss, my gain, because they left behind iron, stone, and other scraps. And then, tucked in a valley corner, I spotted them. 15 baby wild horses, plus 10 or so adult horses drinking by the lake. These weren't your average ponies either. They were thick, muscular, glossy-coated beasts with faint red markings on their skin. Premium horses. Top-shelf stallions. The kind of horses that make other lords drool. In a world where Central Plains is mostly flat land, cavalry is king, and cavalry needs horses. I just stumbled into a horse dealership on day 1. I was hiding behind rocks, literally licking my lips like a cartoon villain. My plan was genius. Sneak up to the baby horses, slam my Lord Seal down right there, build my city around them. The babies get trapped inside my territory, and then the adult horses would have to cooperate if they ever want to see their kids again. Parenting leverage. Hostage negotiation, horse edition. I crept through the grass like a commando, inching closer and closer. My hands were shaking. One wrong move, and those adult horses would trample me into a pancake before I could even activate my seal. The textbooks are full of people who died before building their first wall. I was not about to become a cautionary tale, and almost there. Almost there. And then this one baby horse, this adorable, wobbly-legged, smooth-brained little idiot, woke up, stumbled over to me, sniffed my face, and started licking me. Like I was a salt block. Like we were best friends. I'm sitting there frozen, eyes darting to the adults, silently begging this foal to please, be cool. It was not cool. The dumb baby tried to take a step and face planted. Let out the loudest horse cry in recorded history. Every adult horse snapped their heads toward me. The biggest one's nostrils shot out steam like a dragon. Its eyes went bloodshot red. And then the thunder started, hooves pounding the ground, charging straight at me. I slammed that Lord Seal into the dirt so fast I think I broke the sound barrier. The horse's hoof was literally 0.1 millimeters from my skull when the sweetest sound I've ever heard rang in my ears. Territory established. Please choose a name. A tiny wooden cabin poofed into existence behind me. The murder horse instantly calmed down like someone hit the off switch. I collapsed onto the ground, gasping for air. My entire life flashed before my eyes. Both lives, actually. My clothes magically changed from cool black combat gear into basic peasant fabric. Got a starter sword called the Sword of Kings on my hip. Every lord gets one. It levels up with your territory, and you can add materials to customize it later. For now, it looked about as threatening as a butter knife, but hey, it's mine. My territory was about 1,000 square meters. Tiny, but it stretched just far enough to reach the lake. Perfect for my horse domestication plans. Name your territory? Didn't even hesitate. Huaxia. Then the system started tallying up everything inside my borders. All that leftover junk from the destroyed city? Mine now. Wood, iron, stone, food, 15 baby horses, plus a mystery summoning scroll. And then my talent kicked in. 100-fold critical hit activated. Every single reward multiplied by 100. 1,500 wood became 150,000. 200 iron became 20,000. 2,000 stone became 200,000. 300 food became 30,000. The baby horses? Upgraded into 15 adult blood sweat war horses, legendary tier mounts. My 1-star white summoning scroll bumped up to a 2-star blue. I sat there in the dirt, wearing peasant clothes, surrounded by war horses, sitting on a mountain of resources that most lords don't see until month 3. Garbage talent, they said. Dead in 10 days, they said. Day 1 isn't even over, and I'm already rich. My eyeballs nearly popped out of my skull. So let me get this straight. My garbage talent just multiplied everything by 100 during the territory setup. Baby horses that couldn't even walk. Now they're fully grown legendary blood sweat war horses standing in my backyard looking majestic as hell. Wood, iron, stone, food, all times 100. I went from homeless transmigrator to resource tycoon in about 30 seconds. The original adult wild horses? They got kicked outside my territory borders when the protection shield went up. Now they're just pacing around out there, stomping and screaming, absolutely furious that their babies suddenly grew up and chose me as their new dad. Sorry guys, custody battle's over. I'll deal with you later. But the real prizes were the 2 summoning items. See, in this world, you can sacrifice these items at a hero altar to summon legendary warriors, generals, strategists, martial arts masters, who fight for you with absolute loyalty. One good hero is worth more than an entire army. The ranking goes: 1-star white, meh, 2-star blue, decent, 3-star purple, you've made it, 4-star red, big shot, 5-star orange, top of the world, and 6-star gold. The legendary unicorns that nobody even dares dream about. My critical hit talent had already upgraded my white summoning item into a blue one during the territory cleanup. So now I had a blue summon and some mystery summon that even the system couldn't identify. It just said, unknown. The system can recognize gold tier items no problem, but this one? Just a big fat question mark. Even after getting hit by my 100-fold multiplier, it stayed unknown. That's either very exciting or very terrifying. Probably both. First things first though, I needed to build. My territory was level 1, which gave me a workshop with 1 worker, 2 farmers, a basic barracks for swordsmen and archers, and a hero altar. Thanks to my insane resource haul, I had enough materials to build everything and upgrade to level 3 right away. Most new lords spend weeks gathering what I got in minute 1. I went into God View mode and started placing buildings like I was playing the world's most high-stakes city builder. Barracks on the edge, workshop next to it, farmers sent to plow fields, resources dumped into the barracks to start producing soldiers. Then I had my worker build a stable for my 15 gorgeous war horses. Everything was running smooth. Now, summoning time. I had 2 summon items, but I'm not stupid. The system works on probability. Higher territory level means better chances of getting a good hero from the same item. So the play was obvious. Use the blue summon now for an early helper, save the mystery summon for later when my territory is stronger and I can maximize the odds. I walked up to the hero altar with my blue crystal, closed my eyes, and started my prayer. And by prayer I mean I threw every religion and superstition at the wall. Gotcha gods, hear me. Alibaba, Amitba, 3 pure ones. We've never met, but I'm new in town. Please be kind. I hereby sacrifice 10 years of Chun Fong's lifespan in exchange for a good hero. Then I slammed that summon button. Congratulations. You received a blue hero. Nice. But wait, your exclusive talent hundredfold critical hit has activated. Upgraded to Purple Hero, Purple. 3-star Purple. The tier where people say you're basically set for life. The tier that carries lords all the way to level 6 territories. I got one on my first ever summon. On day 1, white light exploded from the altar and a figure appeared. Not what I expected though. No shiny armor, no dramatic cape. This guy was wearing a straw hat, a long robe, and a triangular face mask covering everything except his eyes. Deep, intense, seen something's kind of eyes. He carried an ancient-looking blade, stabbed it into the ground, dropped to one knee, and spoke in a rough, gravelly voice. General Eugene, reporting for duty. For Huaxia, I would walk through fire. Eugene. The Eugene. One of Cao Cao's legendary 5 elite generals from the Three Kingdoms era. A man famous for iron discipline and commanding massive armies. He's mine now. Day 1. Garbage talent. No allies. No family connections. 15 warhorses, a mountain of resources, and a purple tier legendary general kneeling at my feet. I think I'm gonna like this world. Eugene. I got freaking why Eugene. For those who don't know their Three Kingdoms history, this man was one of Cao Cao's legendary 5 elite generals. At his peak, he commanded 7 armies and was the top-ranked general among all non-family officers. The guy was basically Cao Cao's right-hand man. Now, his story has a complicated ending. He surrendered to Guan Yu during the famous flood battle, and compared to his buddy Pang De, who chose death over submission, that looked pretty bad. His reputation took a nosedive. The new Emperor Cao Pai even commissioned a painting specifically to humiliate him. The man literally died of shame and depression. Then centuries of scholars piled on and trashed him some more. Result? A general who should have been rated orange, 5-star, or at minimum high red, 4-star, got demoted all the way down to top-tier purple. But here's the secret everyone in the Central Plains whispers about. His actual stats are still orange level. He's like a sports car with a Honda badge. The rating says purple, but everything under the hood screams elite. I pulled up his stat sheet and nearly choked. Attack, 1800. Defense, 1800. Way above purple tier. For skills instead of the purple maximum of 3. Every single skill stacks crazy buffs, morale boosts, stat increases, terrain mastery, and an intimidation aura that tanks enemy morale by 40%. The man is a walking army multiplier. So let me do the math here. Started with a white summon. Talent upgraded it to blue. Blue summoned a purple hero. But that purple hero secretly has red tier stats. So basically, I used the worst possible summoning item and got a 4-star general. My garbage talent is broken. I was already fantasizing about future summons. If blue becomes purple, then purple becomes red, red becomes orange, and orange becomes gold. Zhuge Liang, Lu Bu, Zhao Yan, Han Xian. My brain was doing backflips. I calmed down and looked at Eugene properly. The man was standing there in plain robes, straw hat hiding his eyes, face masked, carrying nothing but a simple old blade. No armor. Why no armor? I asked. Long silence. Then that gravelly voice. The sinner Eugene does not deserve to wear armor. Ouch. This man has been carrying guilt for centuries. Even in a new world, summoned by a new lord, he still won't forgive himself. I felt that in my chest. I looked him in the eye and told him straight, I will see you in full armor again. His head snapped up. For the first time, those hidden eyes burned with something fierce, hope. Because you, my lord, are the one who can help me redeem myself. He could feel it. My talent. My potential. This man waited who knows how long for a lord worthy enough to summon him. And somehow the universe matched us together. A general desperate for redemption, and a lord with a talent everyone calls trash. We're gonna prove them all wrong. But of course, the universe couldn't let me have a peaceful first day. While Eugene and I were having our touching bonding moment, 2 strangers showed up at the edge of my territory. Hey buddy, new lord, right? I sized them up. 2 guys, trying really hard to look friendly. The older one was grinning ear to ear, giving me his best, trust me bro, energy. We're, noble outlaws from the mountain behind that forest over there. Gallant heroes of the Greenwood. We'd love for you to join us. They didn't notice Eugene was a general because he looked like a regular peasant in his plain clothes and hidden face. Meanwhile, I had my two freshly baked swordsmen and two archers standing behind me looking about as threatening as a school play. But I caught two important details from their little speech. 1. There's a forest nearby. Useful information. 2. Noble outlaws of the Greenwood is just a fancy way of saying bandits. These guys are mountain bandits who saw a shiny new territory pop up and came over thinking, easy meal. They probably expected some scared kid with a trash talent they could bully into submission. Instead, they found me, with a secret purple-tier general who could solo their entire mountain. This should be fun. So these two noble outlaws started their sales pitch. The older one, let's call him Libro, put on his best sad puppy face. Oh, we're just poor souls whose territories got destroyed by monsters. We lost everything. We just huddled together on a mountain for warmth. Won't you join our little support group? The more pathetic he acted, the more I knew these guys were absolutely going to rob me. But I played along because I wanted intel. Where's their base? How many people? What are they packing? Every word out of his mouth was free information, and information is power. We can teach you. We're experienced lords. We'll help you grow. Libro was laying it on thick, rubbing his hands together like a used car salesman about to close a deal. I raised an eyebrow. Oh, that sounds almost too good to be, and that's when his idiot partner ruined everything. This genius, Tiger Boy, yanked out a sword, glared at me, and went full villain monologue mode. Why are we wasting time talking to this noob? He's obviously still in protection mode. All he's got is farmers and like 3 soldiers. Let's just make him hand over those horses. And if he says no, we camp outside and smash his base the second protection expires. Remember that girl lord last time? She was tough at first, but she got on her knees real quick when she saw the boss's cavalry. Libro's friendly mask shattered. He turned to Tiger Boy, grinding his teeth. Can you please let me finish the con just once? Then Libro dropped the act completely. Cold eyes, threatening voice. Kid, you heard my brother. Hand over the horses or you're dead the moment protection ends. Tiger Boy licked his lips like an actual psychopath. Forget waiting. Let's just camp here and grind him out. 10 days. Then we turn him into mincemeat. My eyes went cold. Playtime was over. I tilted my head slightly toward Eugene. That was all the signal he needed. One flash of the blade. That's it. Tiger Boy blinked once, looked down, and saw his arm was no longer attached to his body. Clean cut. Surgical. Blood everywhere. The scream that came out of him could have woken up the dead across all 9 provinces. Eugene slid his blade back into position like nothing happened. Didn't even look at the guy. Just went back to being an invisible peasant under a straw hat. I had my swordsman drag the one-armed wonder into my territory. Libro tried to stop them, but Eugene released just a taste of his killing intent, and the man froze like someone hit pause on his entire nervous system. The arrogance evaporated from Libro's face instantly. He took one look at Eugene, did some quick math, and bowed deeply. Ah, I see. You must be from a powerful family. Our sincerest apologies for the disturbance. In his mind, the only explanation for a newbie lord having a strong warrior was rich parents. If I told him this, peasant in plain clothes, was actually a legendary 3 kingdoms general with near orange tier stats, the man would probably have a heart attack on the spot. I didn't acknowledge his apology. Just hit him with the cold interrogation. Name. Libro's veins popped. Being questioned like a criminal by a rookie lord was killing his ego. But Eugene was right there, so. Li Tong. Gender. You. He caught Eugene's eyes. Swallowed his rage. Male? I picked my ear casually. Sorry, what? Didn't catch that. Male. Wow. Is saying you're a man really that embarrassing for you? Had to force it out, and everything. I could literally see his soul leaving his body from the humiliation. Beautiful. I kept squeezing him for information. Where's the hideout? 40 li past the forest. How many bandits? Under 1,000. But honestly, every answer smelled like a lie. This guy was feeding me garbage numbers while his hand was sneaking toward something. A black ball. He had a black ball in his hand that definitely wasn't there before. I quietly stepped back, making sure I was fully inside my territory's protection zone. Then Libro jumped backward, held the ball up high, and screamed, "Hold it, kid. Let's make a deal." Eugene was already moving to chase him down, but Libro shrieked at the top of his lungs. "Don't come closer. This is a purple-grade explosive device, a purple-tier bomb." This bandit was walking around with a purple-tier bomb in his pocket this whole time. That's like showing up to a neighborhood barbecue with a live grenade in your shorts. Purple tear explosive. Same grade as Eugene himself. That thing could actually hurt him, and I was not about to risk my only general on day 1 over 2 cockroaches. So we had ourselves a good old-fashioned standoff. Li Tong waving his bomb around, me casually poking my sword into his buddy Tiger Boy, who was lying on the ground like a deflated balloon, barely breathing. Every time I poked, Tiger Boy wheezed. Every wheeze made Li Tong flinch a little harder. I kept poking, just gently, therapeutically, testing the waters. Finally, Li Tong cracked. He lowered the bomb, still gripping it tight, and tried to sound tough. Let's make a deal. You don't know what you're sitting on, kid. Our Red Fong fortress has tens of thousands of soldiers. Elite warriors. Your crappy little base and your one suspicious-looking bodyguard can't stop us. Plus, there are 300 adult wild horses in this area, and they're coming back. They'll stomp you flat before we even have to lift a finger. Take my deal now, and I'll show you a way to survive. Uh-huh. Sure, buddy. You're literally begging me not to kill your friend, but please, tell me more about how powerful you are. What's the deal? I asked, casually cleaning my sword. Release Tiger Boy, and I'll give you 3 days to run. We won't chase you. We won't report this to the fortress. I laughed out loud. This was the deal? Hey, give me back my guy, and in exchange I'll generously allow you to abandon everything you have and flee like a scared rabbit. What a bargain. What incredible generosity. I raised an eyebrow, pressed my sword against Tiger Boy's forehead, and pushed. Just a little. Ag, Tiger Boy thrashed like a fish on land. Stop. Stop. We can talk. Let's talk. Don't. Now we're negotiating for real. The tough guy act was completely gone. Li Tong was panicking hard. Interesting, Tiger Boy meant way more to him than a regular bandit buddy should. There was something about this Tiger Boy. A secret. And Li Tong absolutely could not let me have him. Good to know. I pulled the sword out. Tiger Boy's bloody hand clawed at my shoe, leaving red streaks on the leather. A swordsman moved to drag him away, but I waved him off. Let Li Tong watch. Let him sweat. Fine, I said. You want to negotiate? Give me all your resource points. Li Tong's face went from nervous to absolutely volcanic. You're going too far. Resource points are basically money in this world. They're how you buy things, trade with other lords, upgrade your territory. I basically walked up to this man and said, empty your bank account or your friend dies. But here's the thing I figured out. Li Tong had been planning something for years. He'd been saving resource points, selling valuable items, all building towards some master plan to restore his lord's seal and rebuild his territory. And whatever Tiger Boy was carrying was the key to that plan. Without Tiger Boy, all those years of scheming were worthless. He was trapped, and we both knew it. I twisted the knife, metaphorically this time. Come on, don't be such a drama queen about it. You're a homeless wandering lord with a broken seal. You can't even use those resource points properly. Might as well give them to someone with a bright future. Like me. Calling someone a wandering lord in this world is like calling a businessman bankrupt to his face. Adding, and I have a bright future, unlike you, was just chef's kiss levels of salt in the wound. The man nearly coughed up blood. Long silence. Then, through clenched teeth, give me your lord's seal for the transfer, now. I may look like a naive rookie, but I didn't survive 2 lifetimes by being stupid. I was not walking over there with my precious seal while Mr. Bomb in his pocket was having a bad day. Instead, I had my swordsman search Tiger Boy's body, pull out his broken seal, and use that as the transfer medium. Li Tong's eye literally twitched. This kid is smiling at me while treating me like a criminal. Zero respect. He bit down so hard I thought his teeth would crack, pulled out his dull, broken lord seal, and transferred everything. My swordsman ran back and shouted, report. 300,000 resource points captured. 300,000. On the outside, I kept my poker face. On the inside, I was doing cartwheels. That's enough to upgrade my territory 3 levels. Build soldiers day and night. Fund Eugene's entire army. This old bandit had been saving for years, and I just cleaned him out in 5 minutes. Noted, I said, cool as ice. Next step. My swordsman turned back to Li Tong and stuck his hand out again. The Lord commands me to verify your remaining balance. Li Tong's face was priceless. I just took everything he had, and now I'm checking his pockets for loose change. The audacity. The disrespect. I love this job. Li Tong's face was so dark it could absorb light. He looked up at me. I had my sword resting on Tiger Boy's head again, arm visibly tensed, clearly ready to chop at any moment. His voice had lost all its edge, pure defeat energy. He reached out with a violently trembling hand. "Give me the seal again." My swordsman looked at me. I nodded. Li Tong did the transfer. When the seal came back, 1,200,000 resource points. This man had been hiding 1.2 million the first time around. He gave me 300K like it was pocket change and kept the real fortune tucked away. The audacity. But my swordsman, bless this man's heart, absolute professional, looked Li Tong dead in the face and said it again. "The Lord commands me to verify your remaining balance." Li Tong almost threw his seal at the guy's head. "Do you even know what 1.2 million resource points is worth? I could buy 1,000,000 of you." He was screaming at a basic swordsman about financial literacy. The man was losing it. But he had no choice. My sword was still on Tiger Boy. His purple bomb was useless since I was inside my protection zone. He couldn't hurt me, couldn't reach me, couldn't do anything except hand over his life savings and cry about it. When my swordsman finally confirmed the balance was 0, he tossed Li Tong's seal back like it was actual garbage. Just yeeted it at his chest. No ceremony. No respect. Incredible. The swordsman jogged back and handed me Tiger Boy's seal. I was already mentally planning how to spend 300K, upgrade to level 3, build some troops, the usual. Then I looked at the number. 1.2 million. I almost threw out my back. What the F? Look, I'm usually a composed person. 2 lifetimes of experience. Calm under pressure. But 1.2 million resource points? I could upgrade to level 4. Build armies. Expand territory. Even Chun Fong's level 6 Lord Daddy couldn't just casually hand out 1.2 million. I looked at Li Tong and Tiger Boy with warm, loving eyes. These weren't bandits. These were delivery men. Walking ATMs. Santa Claus in disguise. My composure completely shattered. I blurted out, "What else you got? Give me everything." Li Tong looked like his eyeballs were going to catch fire. I caught myself. Coughed twice. Straightened my collar. Put the poker face back on. Held up Tiger Boy's seal with a frown and said, "This amount. It's really hard to make a deal with so little." Li Tong exploded. "Do you know what 1.2 million can do? You could live like a rich man forever. You could upgrade to level 4. And it's still not enough to trade for one dying man." Good question. Why was he willing to pay 1.2 million for a half-dead guy? Either there. Together. A chill ran down my spine. I shook that thought off immediately. No. The only explanation was that Tiger Boy had something on him worth more than 1.2 million, which meant I absolutely should not give him back. I shrugged like a total scoundrel. "Well, if you don't want to trade, don't trade. Business is business. Go home. Stop loitering around my territory. You're annoying me." Li Tong snapped, drew his sword, started screaming threats about bringing his fortress army to siege me for 10 days straight. So I grabbed a sword from my swordsman and stabbed it through Tiger Boy's shoulder blade, pinning him to the ground like a bug in a display case. The guy was too weak to even scream anymore, just twitching. Li Tong froze mid-rant, wiped the blood he'd literally coughed up from rage off his chin, put his sword down. His voice came out grinding like broken glass. "One last request, or this ends badly for both of us." Fair enough. I was tap dancing on his last nerve. Time to close the deal. "A red summoning item," I said with a straight face. He nearly had a seizure. "Red? Are you insane? If I had a red summon, would I be a homeless bandit? You want me to just hand you a red hero while I'm at it?" I scratched my head shyly. "I mean, if you're offering." The man who started this encounter as a cold, calculating bandit leader was now just screaming profanity at me like a man watching his house burn down. "Impossible. I don't have it. Pick something else." So I started listing things out loud, right in front of him. "Resource points? Got enough of those now, thanks to you. Red summon? You're broke. Purple summon? Probably not. Secret weapons? Treasure artifacts." Li Tong's eyebrow was twitching with every item like a broken traffic light. "Does this kid think I'm a shopping mall?" "Okay, fine," I said. "A troop class change altar. Don't have it." Now I was getting annoyed. "You don't have this. You don't have that. You know what? Just come collect his body. We're done here. Goodbye." "Wait." Li Tong grabbed the air dramatically and said, with the energy of a man swallowing his own pride whole, "The deal isn't about what you want. It's about what I have." Then, wincing like every movement physically hurt his soul, he reached into his clothes, rummaged around, and pulled out a glowing purple token. A purple token with a big question mark on it. A mystery summoning token that could call forth some unknown creature or object from the 9 provinces. "This is my absolute last treasure," Li Tong said, looking like a man watching his own funeral. "It's worth just as much as that 1.2 million. Not bad." I was fully prepared to accept some random junk at this point, but this old turtle actually coughed up something legitimately valuable. "Purple grade and mysterious?" "Yes, please." Well, I said as my swordsman brought it over. "Good boy. That attitude deserves a gold star." Li Tong exhaled with relief. Finally, this nightmare negotiation was ending. "So, can I have Tiger Boy back now?" I pocketed the token, picked my ear casually, and said, "When exactly did I agree to give him back?" "You." Blurgh. The man literally vomited blood. Not metaphorically. Actual blood came out of his mouth. I negotiated so hard I caused internal bleeding. He completely lost his mind and charged at me with his sword, forgetting for a solid 2 seconds that I was inside an invincible protection zone. Eugene raised his head 1 inch, and Li Tong slammed the brakes so hard he probably pulled a muscle. Reality check. Protection shield active, legendary general on guard. Purple bomb useless against a shielded territory. He had absolutely nothing. He backed up, raised his bomb again, screaming, "You want mutual destruction?" I looked at him like he was a bug. "You think you're qualified to threaten me?" 3 seconds of silence. Then, fine. He turned to the barely alive Tiger Boy on the ground and yelled, "Tiger, I know you can hear me. Tell me where the thing is. I'll come back for you." Smart play. He was betting I wouldn't send Eugene outside to chase him, because new lords protect their generals like babies. And he was right. I told Eugene to stay put. I was already winning. No need to gamble against a maniac holding a purple explosive. Tiger Boy's bloody finger twitched and pointed back toward where they came from. Li Tong's eyes lit up like Christmas. He screamed, "Hang on, Tiger. I'm coming back," then made a throat-slitting gesture at me, real classy, and started backing away while holding his bomb up. Then the weirdest thing happened. He sank into the ground and disappeared. Burrowing talent. This man's awakened ability was literally digging holes. He used his God-given superpower to run away like a mole. Poetic. Okay, situation assessment time. Bad news. Red Fong Fortress has thousands of soldiers, cavalry, and multiple generals. Li Tong is coming back angry. 300 adult wild horses own this land, and they're returning soon. Tiger Boy has some mega secret worth more than 1.2 million that Li Tong is desperately hunting for. Good news. I'm filthy rich. I have Eugene. I have my broken talent. And Tiger Boy is currently tied up in my horse stable bleeding on my hay. Whatever secret he's carrying, it's mine now. I ordered the farmers to cook dinner, locked Tiger Boy in the stable under heavy guard, and put Eugene in charge of military operations with our tiny army. His skills buff even basic soldiers, so every little bit helps. I went back to my room, and I used that word generously. A bare wooden bed with a straw mat. A tiny desk with an oil lamp. A coat hanger by the door. That's it. A prison cell has more personality. But whatever, interior decorating can wait. I opened the upgrade menu, ready to rocket my territory to level 4 with all my beautiful stolen money. And then, oh no, I forgot about the upgrade timers. Level 1 to 2, 1 day. Level 2 to 3, 10 days. Level 3 to 4, 100 days. My protection period is only 10 days. I can't even reach level 3 in time, let alone level 4. All that money, and I can barely use it. It's like winning the lottery, but the bank is closed for a month. If I'm stuck at level 2 when the shield drops, my troop production stays slow, no trading unlocked, way less firepower than I planned. 300 angry horses plus thousands of angry bandits versus me and my handful of soldiers. I rubbed my temples. Okay, just upgrade first. Levels are everything. Transferred the resource points, took a deep breath, and slammed the upgrade button. And then, that beautiful sound. Exclusive talent 100-fold critical hit. Activated. My eyes went wide. It triggers on upgrades too. My talent triggers on territory upgrades. I ripped open the upgrade screen so fast I almost broke the interface. And there it was. Huaxia territory. Upgrade countdown. 012, 12 minutes. What was supposed to take an entire day was now 12 minutes. Time reduced by 100 times. I started doing math so fast my brain was smoking. Level 2 to 3? Normally 10 days. Now 2 hours and 40 minutes. Level 3 to 4? Normally 100 days. Now 1 day. I could hit level 4 within my 10-day protection period. Nobody in the history of the 9 provinces has ever reached level 4 during protection. Level 3 was considered impossible. My garbage gambler talent just broke the entire progression system. Golden light flashed. Level 2 unlocked. Territory expanded to 4,000 square meters. My shack grew into a 2-story building with actual furniture. Got a blacksmith shop for crafting gear. Got flimsy fence walls that could stop maybe a determined rabbit. I skipped placing the fences. Why waste resources on something I'd replace in a day? The barracks upgraded too, unlocking scouts as a new unit. All my level 1 soldiers auto-upgraded to level 2. Visibly bigger, sharper eyes, better posture. Actually looked like soldiers instead of farmers holding pointy sticks. I dumped resources into the barracks like feeding coins into an arcade machine. Every soldier that popped out went straight to Eugen's command. Upgraded the farmers to 10. Put them all on food duty because my growing army eats like a swarm of locusts. Thank God the previous lord left some grain behind, or we'd all be starving. By nighttime I was done. Day 1 in the 9 provinces, and I'd already been teleported from the sky, nearly trampled by horses, robbed 2 bandits of their life savings, summoned a legendary general, and speed-built a territory. I ate dinner and passed out like a corpse. Next morning, my body's insane discipline kicked in, and I woke at dawn. Inspected the territory, assigned everyone's daily tasks, and waited. 2 hours and 40 minutes later, ding. Golden light. Level 3. Now we're talking. My clothes upgraded from peasant rags to silk. My body got significantly stronger. I was now the second most powerful person in my territory after Eugene. Level 3 unlocked the marketplace, schools, council halls, recruitment centers, the works. But I didn't build any of them. Why? Because the horse herd was coming back soon, and I didn't want random merchants and travelers dying on my doorstep. That's terrible for your Yelp rating. Instead, I went full military mode. Every building slot, barracks, every resource, soldiers, shieldsmen, axe warriors, spearmen, production lines running at maximum. And here's my galaxy brain move. By not placing all those level 3 buildings, my territory still looks like a level 2 base from the outside. Anyone scouting me would think, oh, just another weak newbie. Then they walk in and meet my hidden army. Surprise. I even had someone make me a set of cheap cloth clothes to replace my silk outfit. Can't have the Lord looking rich when the whole point is looking broke. Level 3 also unlocked trading and communication with the outside world. I could now browse the marketplace and chat with other lords. Did I rush to the chat channels to flex or flirt with lady lords? No. I went straight to the shop and bulk ordered food and supplies because my army was eating through resources faster than I could produce them. Stupid bandits forcing me to prepare for war. I grumbled while spending resource points like water. If it weren't for Redfong Fortress, I could just farm peacefully on this beautiful fertile plain. But in a low, bandits got a bandit. After sorting out logistics, I remembered that purple token Li Tong gave me. His absolute last treasure. The glowing mystery summoning token he presented like it was the Holy Grail. I used my newly unlocked level 3 scanning function on it. Read the description. Read it again. Then I lost it. That old turtle scammed me. The scan results came back, and I wanted to reach through time and slap myself. Mysterious merchant token. Attribute, none. Function, summons a random mysterious merchant near your territory. That's it. That's the priceless treasure Li Tong gave me with tears in his eyes. See, mysterious merchant tokens have a legendary reputation in the 9 provinces. Legendary for being garbage. The story goes like this. Someone found a red grade token in a monster dungeon and auctioned it off. A level 8 lord spent nearly everything he had to buy it, thinking a red tier merchant would sell god tier items. The merchant showed up and was selling regular grain and basic iron swords. The lord went bankrupt. 3 days later, his cities were conquered, his generals killed, and his wife and daughters enslaved. After that, tokens started popping up everywhere, red ones, even gold ones, and they all summoned merchants selling trash. The entire 9 provinces collectively gagged. Merchant tokens became synonymous with scam, and I got a purple one. If red summons grain merchants, purple probably summons. What? Fertilizer salesman? A guy selling used napkins? I got hustled by an old bandit, I muttered, rubbing my temples. At least I still got 1.2 million out of him. Consider the token a free lottery ticket. With nothing better to do while waiting for upgrades, I figured I might as well use it. Clicked, activate. The token floated up, the question mark spun around a few times, and a yellowish face appeared. Then that sound again. Exclusive talent 100-fold critical hit. Activated. The token exploded into a swirling purple portal that looked like a miniature black hole. And out walked a 1-meter-tall blue dwarf in a deep purple robe. Blue skin, pointy ears, pointy nose, face covered in thick wrinkles. But his eyes were ancient and deep, like staring into an ocean of money. This was no regular goblin merchant. Regular goblins look like sleazy con artists. This one radiated actual nobility, like a tiny blue billionaire. Mortal, he said, completely emotionless. State your desires. I looked down at this waist-high creature who just called me mortal and blinked. Open your shop. Your god is here to buy things. Your god? The little purple goblin puffed up with rage. I am nobility from the western abyss. I have descended upon your summons to bestow my generosity upon you. I massaged my forehead. Yes, yes, nobility, very impressive. Can you please just open the store? Hearing the word nobility calmed him down immediately. Fragile ego, noted. He reached into his robe, pulled out a tiny box, and opened it while monologuing. Remember your fortune, mortal. My arrival shall illuminate your path too. I stopped listening because my JW hit the floor. Everything in that box was purple. Every single item. Hero cards, secret treasures, amplification items, a troop class change altar, even a native purple-grade creature. All purple. All priced at 200,000 resource points each. For context, a single purple item is worth way more than 200k on the open market. This was like walking into a luxury car dealership and seeing everything priced at bicycle money. Are these real? I whispered. The goblin sneered. Ignorant mortal, bow before the great goblin race. No, I mean, are they really 200k each? See, this smug little troll had deliberately set the prices low to humiliate me. His whole hustle was, show a broke newbie lord incredible items at affordable prices, watch them cry because they can't afford even one, then smugly sell them some overpriced bread. He'd been doing this for years, feeding off lords' tears. He'd never met someone like me. This, and this, I said, pointing at 5 items. I'll take them all. Then I flashed my lord seal. Over 1 million resource points, glowing bright. The goblin was mid-sentence. As I expected, a mere level 2 lord with no means. Perhaps I could sell you some premium grain inst. He froze. Blinked. Looked at my balance. Blinked again. What? You have over 1 million. The arrogance evaporated like morning dew. His pointy little face went through 5 stages of grief in 2 seconds. He'd set joke prices to mock me, and I was about to clean him out at a 90% discount. Then his nose twitched. He sniffed my territory. His eyes went wide. Level 3? You're a level 3 lord? During the newbie period? That's impossible. I just stood there smiling. Said nothing. Let him marinate in the realization that he'd massively underestimated me and was about to lose a fortune of his own making. 3 seconds of silence. Then the goblin's expression completely changed. The mockery disappeared. Something like genuine respect, or maybe fear, flickered in those ancient eyes. Perhaps. You are worthy of being a friend to the goblin race. He reached into his left pocket this time. The right pocket was the regular inventory. The left pocket? That's the VIP section. What's different about these? I asked, staring at the second box. The items looked identical to the first batch. The little purple goblin smirked mysteriously. Goblins never shortchange their friends, especially friends with potential. Look closer. I squinted. The price went from 200k to 500k? Is that your idea of friendship, friend? Ahem. Just. Click on one. I tapped the Berserker class change altar and my brain short-circuited. Attack bonus, 200. Attack speed, 200%. Life steal, 20% of damage dealt. When you have over 100 Berserkers, all of them get 100% attack. Conversion cost, 2,000 resource points per soldier. Required, level 3 melee troops. And the last line, troop limit, unlimited. The first box's version had a cap of 1,200 berserkers. This one, make as many as you want. Forever. Infinite berserker army. I was no longer worried about horses, or bandits, or anything. I was already mentally marching on Chun Fong's dad's level 6 territory. Come at me, old man. I'll drown you in berserkers. Then the goblin splashed cold water on my dreams. You can only buy one item from this box. My hand froze midair. It was like your crush saying, yes, but only holding hands. Painful. 6 incredible items, and I could only pick one. I wanted to argue, but I'm not stupid enough to start beef with the goblin race. These little blue guys allegedly control 80% of the continent's wealth. And this one just offered me friendship. Long-term investment beats short-term greed. Shear the sheep slowly. Harvest the leeks one crop at a time. After carefully comparing all 6 items, I picked the Berserker altar. Paid 500k. Done deal. The goblin extended his rough, tree-root hand. Pleasure doing business. I bent down and shook it. Pleasure's mine. Then he handed me a plain wooden token with his face on it. Use this to summon me in the future. You're the first lord to ever receive my personal token. I'm betting big on you. Don't disappoint me. I gave him a genuine smile. This tiny arrogant smuff just handed me something worth more than the 1.2 million I squeezed out of Litong. An unlimited berserker factory is basically a red-tier treasure disguised as purple. We chatted a bit more before his portal started closing. Time limit on merchant visits, apparently. Don't summon me every day. I'm busy, he huffed. And I can't always offer this level of merchandise. As the portal shrank, I called out. Hey goblin, what's your name? Call me Goblin Lord, he snapped, offended. But right before the portal vanished, his voice drifted back. It's Luo. And he was gone. Somewhere, in a goblin castle overlooking an entire goblin civilization, little Luo stood at his window muttering about coming crises and hoping I'd surprise him. Heavy stuff for a 1-meter-tall blue guy. Anyway, berserker time. Quick math, started with 1.2 million. Territory upgrades, ate a bunch. Goblin shopping spree cost 500k. Troop production, supplies, miscellaneous expenses, about 150k. Leftover, 55,000. Level 3 to 4 upgrade costs 500k, so that's reserved. Leaves me 5,000 for berserkers at 2,000 each. Wait, that's only. No. After reserving upgrade costs, roughly 50k available, minus the 50k for level 4. Okay, I spent 4,000 on 20 berserkers and kept 10k as emergency funds. Money disappears so fast, I sighed. An hour ago, I felt like a millionaire. Now I'm budgeting like a college student. But all of that complaining died the instant I saw my first berserker walk out of the altar. 2.5 meters tall. Muscles on muscles on muscles. 2 axes, each a meter long, gripped in hands the size of dinner plates. This thing looked like someone took a bodybuilder, fed him steroids for a decade, then gave him tree trunks to swing around. Standing still, it was already terrifying. On a battlefield, enemies would surrender just from the shadow. Attack, 220. Defense, 50. Plus 200% attack speed, 20% life steal, and a special skill called Berserker Dance. Spin both axes in an area attack with bonus damage and healing and defense. 20 of these monsters, standing in formation, made my entire rest of the army look like kindergartners with toy swords. And this is just 20. When I hit 100, they all double their attack. When I hit 1,000, Chen Fong, buddy, you have no idea what's coming. These berserkers are monsters. I mean that literally. 2.5 meters of pure muscle. Each one could flatten me with a sneeze. My personal stats? 50 attack, 50 defense. A berserker has 220 attack. I am a chicken compared to my own soldiers. If one of them accidentally high-fived me, I'd die. Good thing they're on my side. I patted the squad leader, Neo Air, or Bull 2, on his massive arm and promoted him to captain of the 20-man berserker squad. He responded with the enthusiasm of a military foghorn. Berserkers forever obey the Lord's command. Love the energy. Terrifying, but lovable. Now, territory upgrade to level 4 was happening tomorrow thanks to my broken talent. But I couldn't just sit around burning through my last 10,000 resource points. Doing nothing. Time to go hunting. I dumped every remaining point into producing scouts, over 100 of them, and sent them out in waves the next morning. Half to check for bandit activity, half to map out the surrounding terrain. Their scouting data fed directly into my map, revealing the landscape around my territory. One scout team found something juicy, a 2-star level 4 wolf pack. About 400 wolves plus a level 5 wolf king. Wolf pelts, fangs, and pups are all worth good money. I called over the scout who found them, a guy named Zhang-san. This dude reported back with exact numbers. Not about 400, not a lot of wolves. Exactly 400 wolves, Wolf King level 5. Every other scout team came back with vague estimates, but Zhang-san delivered a full military intelligence briefing. He's a level 3 scout spying on level 4 to 5 enemies. How? IT is our duty, SIR, he shouted when I questioned him. I like this guy. Noted for future promotion. I sent Zhang-san's scout team to guide the Berserker squad to the wolves. Plan was simple. Scouts lead them there, then pull back. Let the Berserkers do Berserker things. 400 level 4 wolves and a level 5 king, I told the squad. Can you handle it? 20 statues of muscle suddenly came alive. Axes raised. 20 voices in unison. Berserkers never lose. God, I love my army. I also sent regular soldiers with wooden carts to follow behind. Someone's got to haul back the loot, right? No logistics core unlocked yet, so my axemen got volunteer drafted into cart duty. I figured this would take a few hours. Kill 400 wolves, skin them, load everything up, march back. Plenty of time for a nap. Yes, I took a nap. I'd been going nonstop since arriving in this world. A man needs his beauty sleep. I was deep in dreamland when, crash, boom, stomp. The loudest noise I'd ever heard shook my territory. I launched out of bed like a rocket, grabbed my sword. Heart pounding. Enemy attack? Bandits? The Berserkers aren't back yet. We're doomed. Why, Eugene? It's your time too. I burst outside ready for war and found nothing. No enemies. Just my cart soldiers standing around with empty carts and defeated expressions. What happened? Where are the Berserkers? Where are the wolves? One axeman gave me the most exhausted look I've ever seen and sighed. Lord, we were useless. What do you mean useful? Boom, 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 boom. The ground shook. 20 Berserkers marched into view like a scene from a horror movie. Every single one was drenched head to toe in blood, eyes still glowing red, veins popping across their entire bodies. And hanging from their waists? Wolf heads. Dozens of wolf heads strung up like party decorations. On their backs, headless wolf carcasses stacked into mountains. Bull 2 stomped up to me, dropped a massive white wolf head at my feet, and bellowed, Lord, Berserkers have completed the mission. Is this all of them? All 400 wolves and the Wolf King? Every single one. Beheaded. They finished so fast the cart team never even had time to do anything. The Berserkers killed, decapitated, and carried 400 wolves back themselves. The cart guys just stood there watching in horror and then walked home empty-handed. I stared at the pile of mangled, headless, blood-soaked wolf corpses and felt my wallet crying. My wolf pelts. My beautiful, sellable wolf pelts. Everything was chopped to pieces. Berserkers don't do, careful, Berserkers do, maximum violence. These pelts were worthless now. You can't sell a fur coat with 17 axe holes in it. Zhang-san walked up cradling 2 tiny wolf pups that hadn't even opened their eyes yet, and said with genuine sympathy, Lord, please accept our condolences. The scene was too brutal. There was nothing we could do. I held the baby wolves and felt slightly better. Then Bull 2 heard the word, condolences, and got confused. Condolences? Did something bad happen? Just say the word, Lord. Berserkers will chop whoever did it. You are what happened. I opened my mouth to scream at them, then remembered, these are Berserkers. Their entire personality is chop things. Getting mad at a Berserker for over-chopping is like getting mad at fire for being hot. I sighed, waved them off, and went to count whatever salvageable loot remained from the carnage. Note to self. Next time, give the Berserkers very specific instructions about not destroying the merchandise. Zhang-san's intel was perfect. Exactly 400 wolves plus 1 king, just like he said. The only thing nobody predicted was that my Berserkers would decapitate every single wolf like they were competing in a headless wolf speedrun. 401 pelts ruined because these lunatics don't know the meaning of gentle. Thankfully, star-ranked creature parts are still valuable, even chopped up. Claws, fangs, wolf king pelt, all sellable. I spent the entire afternoon having soldiers butcher 401 wolf corpses. Since I don't have a proper processing unit, my clumsy troops destroyed 30 more pelts during dismantling. Surgeons, they are not. Final haul, 371 intact pelts, 1,600 sellable fangs, 1,600 wolf claw sets, 40 tons of wolf meat, several tons of wolf blood, and 30 adorable blind wolf pups. Star-ranked meat is packed with energy, basically magical protein. So I used 5 tons to throw a feast for the troops, saved 5 tons for the food storage, and listed everything else on the trading market. Anonymously, of course. Can't let the bandits know the weak little newbie just soloed an entire wolf army. The moment my stuff hit the marketplace, the chat channels went nuts. Someone just listed hundreds of 2-star level 4 white fang wolf materials, which big shot is selling anonymously. Buffed, only 2-star? Whatever. Oh yeah, tough guy. You're a level 3 lord talking trash. You go fight 400 wolves. I glanced at the drama and moved on. Nobody in their wildest dreams would guess that the mysterious big shot was a newbie still in his protection period. The same kid everyone laughed at for having a garbage talent. Everything sold out instantly. The 9 provinces are full of lords who need materials, and mine were premium. Private messages flooded in, alliance invitations, friendship requests, people begging for protection. Ignored them all. One name caught my eye though, Luo Curson. Bought all my wolf pelts and sent a friend request. Filed that away for later. Grand total from the sale, for 100,000 resource points. The people's wallet is fat again. 3 days ago, for 100K would have blown my mind. Now, pocket change. Easy money. Just another Tuesday of being secretly overpowered. I dumped 200K into the Berserker altar and churned out 100 more. That's 120 Berserkers total, which means the group bonus kicked in. All Berserkers now get double attack power. The 20-man squad that demolished 400 wolves without a scratch. Imagine 6 times that many, all twice as strong. Mountain bandits? Come. Please come. I'm begging you. Then, upgrade time. Hit the button. 500K gone. Timer, 24 hours. While everyone else waits 100 days for this upgrade, mine takes 1 day. The gap between me and every other lord on this continent is becoming absolutely obscene. Day 5. Golden Light. Level 4. I officially stepped from low-tier lord into mid-tier lord territory. And the moment I did, something unexpected popped up. Congratulations, Lord Xiaoyu. Level 4 achieved. Pioneer achievement unlocked. World announcement will be broadcast. Hide territory name. Hiding may reduce reputation gains. A world announcement? For being the first person ever to reach level 4 this fast? Hide my name? Absolutely not. Nobody knows who runs Huaxia territory. Nobody knows my face, my coordinates, or my talent. Let them wonder. I clicked to know. Red text blazed across the world channel. Congratulations to Huaxia territory in the Central Plains for unlocking the Pioneer achievement. Unprecedented in history. If my wolf sail caused ripples, this caused a tsunami. 666, 666, 666, 666. The entire world chat exploded. Thousands of lords losing their minds simultaneously. What did this person do? Unprecedented in history? Huaxia territory? Never heard of it. It's not in any level 9 or 10 lord database. Who are you, mystery lord? And then, a message that made even the chat go silent. Huaxia territory? Friend, perhaps we could get acquainted. I believe I'm qualified enough. The chat detonated. Is that Caesar from Golden Lion territory? A level 9 lord just spoke. Bow. Bow. Everyone bow. A level 9 lord. One of the most powerful beings on the entire continent. Personally reaching out to little old me. That's not just a connection. That's the thickest thigh in the entire 9 provinces asking to be hugged. I rubbed my nose, staring at the message. To hug or not to hug? That is the question. The thought of buddying up with a level 9 lord lasted about 3 seconds in my brain before I killed it. Think about it. Caesar thinks I'm some hidden ultra lord, at least his equal. What happens when he finds out I'm a level 4 baby? Oh, interesting. How did you get that achievement? What's your talent? Oh, it multiplies everything by 100? Cool, cool, cool. Next thing I know, I'm conquered and my talent is being studied in a lab somewhere. Nope. Stay low. Stay quiet. Keep grinding. Close the chat channel before it could corrupt my focus. The Pioneer achievement was nice though, 2,000 reputation and 10 physical stats for all my people. But I didn't equip it. More reputation means more visitors, and more visitors right now means witnesses to my secret army. Or worse, refugees I can't feed. Or worse, a big neon sign saying, "Attack me first," to every enemy nearby. After the bandits are dead, then I'll flex. Speaking of bandits, time to visit my favorite prisoner. Tiger Boy had been hanging by a thread in the horse stable this whole time. Zhang Xin splashed a bucket of cold water on his face to wake him up. He opened his eyes, saw me and Eugene, and tried to spit at me. Keyword, tried. He was so weak the spit landed on his own chest. Incredible aim, buddy. I sat down on a chair my soldiers brought in and asked nicely, "Tell me about Red Fong Fortress." Tiger Boy gave me this creepy horror movie laugh. "You're just a turtle hiding behind your newbie shield. Wait until Li Bro and the boss come crush you." I said nothing. Just stared at him. For a long, long time. The stable went dead silent. You could hear his heartbeat. Minutes passed. The air got so thick you could chew it. Finally he cracked and looked up at me. "Will Li Tong come rescue you?" I asked. Silence. Because he knew the answer. Li Tong wanted whatever was on his body, not him. Their friendship was a transaction. Then Tiger Boy lost it. Started thrashing and screaming like a caged animal. "You're just a low-level lord. You can't win. You can't win." That told me everything I needed to know. He wasn't saying, "You can't beat us." He was saying, "Please don't try." The fortress was strong, but he was terrified, not confident. I walked out without another word. Let him scream alone in the stable. Johnson asked if he should send scouts out. I waved him off. Later. First, let's look at what we took off Tiger Boy. The loot pile from his body. A king's sword, broken. A dead lord seal. An old territory flag. Some blue-grade deer leather boots. And a greystone pearl. About 6 centimeters wide. Status, awaiting activation. My gut screamed, "This is important." I scanned it immediately. Name, unknown attack. 1 defense. 4 squares. Special. Status, awaiting activation. Activation cost. 1 million resource points. What? What? 1 million to activate? Defense for squares? What does that even mean? Is a Sun Wukong going to pop out of this thing? This is what Li Tong was willing to pay 1.2 million for. This is why he spent years pretending to be Tiger Boy's friend. This little rock is worth more than everything else combined, and I can't even figure out what it does. I stared at it, rubbing it between my fingers, brain racing. Then something clicked. I snapped out of my trance, slapped Zhang San on the shoulder, and went full commander mode. "How many scouts do we have?" 300, sir. 10 battalions, 30 squads. 8 battalions currently deployed. Take every scout except 1 squad and spread them out in a massive perimeter. Nobody gets near this area without me knowing. If you spot anyone, report immediately. Do not get detected. Yes, SIR. Then I marched to the Berserker camp. Pointed at several locations on the map. Bull 2. Hit these spots. Fast. Grab everything. Bring back a guy named Zhang Liping. Bull 2 hefted his twin axes. Lord says chop. We chop. Good. Scouts will guide you. Go. I sent out my entire military force. Every berserker, nearly every scout. My territory was practically empty. This was the biggest gamble I'd made yet. If the bandits attacked now, I'd have nothing but Eugene and some basic troops. I sat in my room staring at the map, chewing my fingernails, waiting. Dinner came. I barely tasted it. Any word from the scouts or berserkers? Nothing. What's Eugene doing? Training soldiers. Okay. I sipped my soup and couldn't focus on anything. That stone pearl sat heavy in my pocket. Whatever Red Fong Fortress really was, they had 2 subordinates carrying items worth millions each. The actual fortress must be terrifying. I'm basically stealing the dragon while the enemy team isn't looking, I muttered. One wrong move, and this all blows up. The soldier standing next to me was too scared to breathe. Then, finally, the beautiful sound of heavy boots and rattling axes echoed through the territory. Huh. My army's back. Bull 2 came sprinting at me covered in blood. Shocker. Waving his axes and carrying 3 severed heads of completely different species. Just dangling them from his belt like keychains. Lord. Berserkers never fail. Normally I'd yell at him about property damage. But the mission was a success, so I just hugged his bloody shoulders and said, "Good boy," like he was the world's most terrifying golden retriever. Sent everyone to process the loot. Called Zhang-san back for a debrief. "Zhang-san, your scouts went really far out this time. Anything new?" His face got serious. "Not good, Lord. Nearly 300 scouts covering over 30 li in every direction. And almost no bandit activity anywhere. That's bad. If the bandits are supposed to be all around us, but suddenly aren't, it means they've pulled back. They're consolidating. Preparing something. What are they planning?" I muttered. "Also, sir, one more thing. Our scouts spotted the horse herd. They'll be at the territory in about 2 hours. 300 adult blood-sweat horses, furious about their stolen babies, coming home in 2 hours. Fantastic. Honestly, though, with 120 berserkers, the horses aren't really a threat anymore. But chopping them all up would be a criminal waste. These are premium war horses. Selling them by the pound like discount beef? That's insanity." Then I had a brain blast. Let them surround my territory. From the outside, it would look like my base is completely besieged by angry horses. Perfect camouflage against bandit scouts. Nobody could see inside past 300 massive stallions pacing around huffing steam. Galaxy Brain activated once again. The horse herd arrived right on schedule. 300 furious beasts circling my walls, stomping, snorting, screaming for their children. My farmers and low-level soldiers were shaking in their boots. But from above, my territory was completely invisible. Nature's own privacy fence, made of rage and hooves. Meanwhile, I'd sold all the raid loot on the marketplace, another 1,000,000 resource points. And again, that mysterious lord named Luo Curson bought every single pelt. Does this woman have a fur coat addiction? Is she building a wolfskin mansion? Whatever, money's money. Grand total, just enough to activate the stone pearl with 1 million, plus a few 10,000 left over for groceries. I earn money in dump trucks, and it leaves in dump trucks. I sighed. Never even gets warm in my pocket. I hit activate. 1 million resource points, gone. Congratulations. You received purple item, clairvoyance eye. Nice. But then, exclusive talent 100-fold critical hit activated. Upgraded to red item, true sight eye, red. 4-star red. From a gray pebble that looked like something you'd skip across a lake. True sight eye grade. Red, level 1 attack. 1, LOL, defense. For charges, ignores all damage. Breaks after 4 hits regardless of power. Vision, 1000 li radius special. Skills, talent detection. Scan any being in your territory to see their talent. True sight domain. Detect all hidden/invisible units entering your territory. 1000 li of vision. That's like having a satellite. I can see everything in every direction for hundreds of miles. Hidden assassins? Detected instantly. Enemy talents? Scanned on sight. And now I understand why Li Tong spent years babysitting that idiot Tiger Boy. This little rock was worth more than his entire life savings. And Tiger Boy lied to him about where it was. Pointed him in the wrong direction right in front of me. These two were scamming each other the whole time. Criminals. Can't trust any of them. But the real winner? Me. The guy who took both their stuff. I placed the true sight eye in my lord's hall. The stone grew an actual eyeball on it. Yes, a moving eyeball that looked around, then floated up and merged with the ceiling. Creepy as hell, but incredibly powerful. A 3D mental map of my entire territory downloaded into my brain instantly. First thing I did, scan Zhang-san. Talent. Perception. Massively reduces personal presence. Photographic environmental memory. Can accurately detect creature stats. Small chance to discover hidden attributes. And no wonder his intel was always perfect. This guy has a born spy talent. Every piece of information he ever reported was 100% accurate because his brain is literally built for espionage. Best scout captain I could have asked for. Okay, red tier surveillance system, installed. 120 berserkers, ready. Territory level 4, done. Horse camouflage, deployed. Now there's one more thing I've been dying to do since yesterday. The thing I keep getting distracted from. The thing burning a hole in my inventory. That mystery summoning item. The one even my Lord Seal couldn't identify. The one that stayed unknown even after my talent hit it. Time to find out what's inside. Hero altar, here I come. I walked up to the hero altar with the mystery summoning item, the one that broke my identification system, the one that stayed unknown even after my talent hit it, and placed it on the ancient stone platform. Please be purple. Purple is fine. Anything better than blue. If it's stronger than Eugene, even better. Just don't disappoint me. I press summon. Congratulations. You received a 5-star orange hero. My heart stopped. Your exclusive talent 100-fold critical hit has activated. Upgraded to 6-star gold hero. My heart stopped again. Pretty sure I clinically died for half a second. The altar erupted in blinding light. Then a deep, savage voice boomed. Submit. Or be slaughtered. A man materialized on the altar. Sharp face. Predator eyes. Iron chest plate, but only the front. His back was completely exposed, like he was so confident nobody would ever get behind him. 2 curved swords on his waist. A massive eagle-engraved bow on his back. He stepped down, looked me dead in the eyes, and clasped his fist. Temujin greets the Lord. Titi Temujin? As in, Genghis Khan. I pulled up his stat sheet and nearly fainted. Borjigin Temujin grade. 6-star gold. Unique. Attack. 5,000 defense. 3,000 5,000 attack. For reference, I have 100. My berserkers have 220. This man is 25 times stronger than my strongest soldiers. But the skills. Oh my god, the skills. 6 of them. Mongol Iron Cavalry. Every soldier under his command automatically transforms into the highest tier unit. Mongol Heavy Cavalry. As long as Temujin lives, the cavalry keeps replenishing. A walking 6-star troop factory strapped to a human being. Son of Heaven. Divine favor in battle. Lucky breaks. Disasters turn into miracles. He literally has plot armor as a skill. Great unification. Enemies feel overwhelming terror. Chance to surrender mid-battle and join your army. You're fighting me, and suddenly half your troops switch sides. That's not a skill, that's a war crime. Ride the Stormlands. Lightning attribute for all troops. March speed x2. Attack speed x5. His cavalry hits you before you even know they left base. Iron Blood. If Great Unification doesn't trigger, all stats x3. Then he kills everyone. All of them. Skill doesn't end until every enemy is dead. It's literally, submit or I become 3 times stronger and erase you. Oath of the Baljuna River. Full heal for all friendly troops. Morale x3. Attack and defense doubled on top of that. The ultimate, round 2, button. So let me paint the picture. Temujin rides in. Enemies see him. Great unification triggers. Half of them surrender and join him. The other half tries to fight. Iron Blood activates. His army triples in power and massacres the rest. Afterwards, Baljuna Oath fully heals everyone. Next battle, repeat. If you somehow survive the initial charge, his cavalry moves at 5 times normal attack speed with lightning damage. You can't run. You can't hide. You can't outlast them because they heal to full after every fight. Submit or be slaughtered isn't a catchphrase. It's a policy. I stood there aging 50 years in 10 seconds. My hands were shaking. A 6-star gold hero. The tier nobody in the history of the 9 provinces has ever possessed. 5-star orange is already unicorn rare. 6-star gold is a MYTH. And I got one on my second summon. On day 5, I grabbed Temujin's fist and said with genuine emotion, "General, having you is the greatest fortune of my life." He awkwardly waved me off. Lord is too kind. Even the great Khan gets shy when you fanboy too hard. For a moment I thought about everyone who laughed at me. The dean who dismissed me. Chen Fong who called me garbage. Su Jie who betrayed me. Every single person who looked at critical hit and saw a joke. I almost burst out laughing. A joke? This talent is the most overpowered ability in the entire world, and I'm the only person who knows it. White becomes blue. Blue becomes purple. Purple becomes red. Orange becomes gold. Everything I touch turns into a miracle. You'll never guess what critical hit can do. Okay, enough daydreaming. Back to reality. My territory was hilariously lopsided. Military power through the roof, but politically and agriculturally, I was a disaster. No government buildings. No farming infrastructure. Food came from killing monsters and buying groceries online. I was basically running a military dictatorship that orders takeout for every meal. Temujin's political power was 1,000 and his diplomacy was 500. Time to put the great conqueror to work. doing paperwork. Hey, even Genghis Khan has to start somewhere. A strong territory needs more than just an army. It needs farms, infrastructure, self-sufficiency. My territory was basically a military base that ordered Uber Eats for every meal. Pathetic. So I did what any reasonable person would do with the greatest conqueror in human history. I made him a farmer. Temujin, I hereby appoint you Garrison Field Officer, the man who conquered half the known world, who built the largest land empire in history, who made kings tremble at his name, was now supervising rice paddies. He took it like a champ, though. As the Lord commands, marched straight to the agricultural district and got to work. System notification. Crop yield increased by 15%. Genghis Khan, history's most overqualified farmhand. But I wasn't going to waste him on carrots forever. I activated the true sight eye and expanded my vision outward. 50 li away, in a mountain valley, I found them. The entire Red Fong fortress army. Assembled. Organized. Thousands of bandits in neat formations. These weren't disorganized thugs anymore. And there was Li Tong, standing next to a massive figure, giving a speech to the troops. Then a unit of cavalry moved out, horses and riders fully covered in chain-mail armor, heading straight toward my territory. They couldn't wait. My protection period wasn't even over, and they were already marching. I smiled. That impatient, huh? Fine. I'll just destroy you. Zhang San. SIR. Assemble all troops. Full head count. Now, the horn blew. Minutes later, my entire army stood before me. 120 berserkers, 3-star level 5, 300 scouts, 200 deployed outside, 80 axemen, 50 spearmen, 50 shieldsmen, 10 swordsmen, 10 archers total. 620 soldiers. Time to unleash the nuclear option. Temujin, here. I'm assigning you 80 axemen, 50 spearmen, 50 shieldsmen, 10 swordsmen, and 10 archers. 200 soldiers. They're yours. The instant those 200 troops entered Temujin's command, they transformed. No ritual, no altar, no resources. Just, poof. 200 regular soldiers became 200 Mongol iron cavalry. 6-star troops, created from nothing, just by being under Genghis Khan's command. Then the notifications started flooding in. Your Mongol cavalry learned dogfight tactics. Your Mongol cavalry learned spear formation. Your Mongol cavalry learned master bowmanship. Your Mongol cavalry learned bloodthirst saber. Your Mongol cavalry learned ride the stormlands. Your Mongol cavalry learned iron blood. Achievement unlocked. Mongol cavalry commander. All cavalry skills 2 levels. I was dizzy. 6 skills for the troops alone, all boosted to level 2. Dogfight tactics. Fake a retreat. Enemies chase. Cavalry turns around and showers them with arrows while running. The original kiting strategy. Hit and run until everyone's dead. Spear formation. V-shaped charge that pierces through entire enemy formations. Temujin personally leading adds 1000 attack and a pierce skill that does triple damage to formations. Master bowmanship. Arrow accuracy x5. Each arrow hits with triple force. Every single cavalryman is basically a sniper on horseback. Bloodthirst saber. Enchanted Mongolian curved swords. 5x damage. Enemies bleed continuously. Cavalry heals from the damage. They literally drink your health bar. Plus ride the stormlands and iron blood inherited from Temujin himself. Lightning speed, lightning damage, and the kill everything or don't stop, berserker mode. Each individual Mongol cavalryman was now equivalent to a blue-grade hero. An entire army where every single soldier fights like a named general. 200 blue-grade heroes, led by a gold-grade legend, with 6 max skills. The bandits have no idea what's coming. But there was one embarrassing problem. Iron cavalry. Emphasis on cavalry. My 200 elite horsemen had no horses, right outside my walls. 300 premium blood sweat war horses, stomping and raging. I had the best riders in history and the best horses in the region, separated by one thin protection barrier and no way to tame the horses. Or so I thought. Temujin stepped forward. Lord, are you troubled by the horse herd? Yeah, I don't have any taming tools or leave them to me. You can handle 300 wild war horses? He looked almost offended. I grew up on horseback. Every soldier you gave me is now Mongol cavalry. They share my instincts with horses. Taming these beasts is as natural as breathing. He glanced at the raging herd outside and added with the faintest hint of a smile. Besides, my cavalry needs good mounts. Genghis Khan, farmer, horse whisperer, and the most terrifying man alive. They're all yours, I grinned. Temujin led all 200 Mongol cavalry to the edge of my territory, looked at the 300 raging warhorses outside, squinted, and jumped onto the back of the biggest, meanest, most special horse in the entire herd. This thing was pure crimson from nose to tail, not a single off-color hair, 12 feet long, 8 feet tall, with eyes that could stare your soul out of your body. The king of the herd. And Genghis Khan just landed on his back like it was a park bench. The horse king went ballistic, bucking, spinning, slamming into everything. No creature that calls itself a king tolerates someone sitting on it uninvited. Following their commander's lead, all 200 Mongol cavalry leaped over the border and jumped onto horses simultaneously. The entire area outside my territory exploded into dust clouds so thick I couldn't see anything from inside. Just thundering hooves, screaming horses, and the sounds of 200 legendary horsemen having a rodeo from hell. Then, silence. The dust settled. Temujin rode in first. Behind him, 200 cavalry on perfectly calm, slightly bleeding but completely tamed warhorses. In perfect formation, like they'd been riding together for decades. Everyone in my territory, soldiers, farmers, me, just stood there with our mouths open. My brain knew these troops were strong from the stat sheets. But seeing them, that was something else entirely. Every cell in my body screamed one message. This army cannot be defeated. Even Eugene, the guy who served under Cao Cao and saw the greatest armies of the three kingdoms, was staring with wide eyes. He'd never witnessed anything like this. Temujin dismounted 10 steps from me, clasped his fist. All 300 horses tamed, my lord. I gave him all 300 horses immediately. The moment they entered his command, his Mongol cavalry skill activated again, and every horse transformed. Coats turned pitch black. Eyes went cold and sharp. Bodies became more muscular, more perfectly proportioned. Saddles appeared on their backs. Saddlebags materialized. Iron horseshoes on every hoof. Light chainmail armor on every head. And on each horse's back, a second longbow. So this is full-form Mongol cavalry, dual longbows. Maximum mobility, tank-level armor, and long-range firepower. Lightning speed charges. Self-healing weapons. If regular Mongol cavalry could crush anything on the continent, these were divine instruments of war that mortals simply cannot fight. I asked Temujin if they needed anything else, fully prepared to dump my remaining tens of thousands of resource points. He thought about it carefully and said, cheese, oats, and beef jerky would significantly boost our endurance and marching range. That's it? The most powerful army in existence, and they want snacks? He saw my shabby territory and got embarrassed. But lord, those are just bonuses. Even without them, Mongol cavalry will crush all enemies. I zoned out mid-sentence. Not because I wasn't listening. I was already on the trading page buying cheese, oats, and beef jerky in bulk. When I came back, I yelled, Zhang San, go to the warehouse. Grab everything the general requested. Watching 200 cavalry pack supplies onto their horses, I felt an overwhelming sense of pride. I built this. From a garbage talent and empty hands. 5 days ago, I was a laughingstock. Now I command an army that could make level 9 lords nervous. Time to use them. I activated the true sight eye. Scanned outward. Found the bandits. Their advance unit, fully armored black cavalry, had stopped 20 li out, hiding. The main army was approaching from a different direction. Classic pincer attack. They thought they were hunting me. Adorable. Why wait for the prey to arrive when I can go to them? My troops were hyped. The Mongol cavalry had just been born and were itching for their first real fight. The berserkers were probably angry they weren't chopping something right now. Morale was through the roof. One thing stood in the way, my newbie protection shield. While it was active, I couldn't attack other lords, bandits, or dungeons, only wild beasts. To go on offense, I had to drop the shield voluntarily. 5 days early, while 30% of all new lords die when their protection ends. And I was choosing to remove mine ahead of schedule. Deactivate newbie protection? All system protection will be permanently removed. Yes. Protection deactivated. Achievement unlocked. Speed demon. 500 reputation. All troops 5 physique. Somewhere in the 9 provinces, the ghosts of lords who died on day 10 because their protection expired were screaming at me. You had 5 more days. 5. Why? Because I have Genghis Khan, 120 berserkers, Eugene, 300 scouts, a red tier all-seeing eye, and absolutely zero chill. I glanced at the achievement, didn't equip it, and pulled up the battle map. The hunters just became the hunted. Let's ride. I pulled up the map and gave Temujin his orders. Northwest exit. Hit the hidden cavalry here. Don't stop. Loop around behind the main bandit army here. Destroy them. Then ride straight to their base camp and kill everyone holding a weapon. Keywords: fast, precise, merciless. Do not stop to pick up loot. Just kill everything. Yes, my lord. Go. Temujin rode out with 200 Mongol cavalry, and I leaned back in my chair, closed my eyes, and started vibing. Eugene stayed behind to guard the base. Can't leave the house empty while the army's out. That's how you get your underwear drawer raided. A few minutes of peaceful silence before I heard shuffling. Bull 2 was standing in front of me, fidgeting like a kid on Christmas morning. Lord, what about us? What do the berserkers do? I blinked. Nothing. His face crumbled. Like I told him Santa wasn't real. Then I smacked my forehead. Oh wait. Actually there is something. His eyes exploded with hope. The berserkers live for war. One day without chopping something, and they get physically itchy. Berserkers forever obey the Lord. Take 20 berserkers and follow Temujin's route. Only 20. His inner voice was screaming. The Mongol cavalry gets the whole army, and the berserkers get 20 guys? And after Temujin destroys the enemy, you pick up all the loot and bring it back. Silence. Actually, make it 100 berserkers. Go clean out their entire base camp too. If you can't carry everything in one trip, make multiple trips. I sent 100 of my most elite killing machines to do warehouse logistics. Glorified moving trucks with abs. Go on then, before someone else takes the loot. But Lord, we could fight. I smiled warmly. This battle is Temujin's debut. Let the Mongol cavalry christen their blades. Tomorrow the first monster wave hits, and you'll have plenty of things to chop. Bull 2 thought about it, accepted the logic, scratched his head with a sheepish grin. Sorry for being pushy, Lord. Thank you. Then he panicked. Wait, the loot, and sprinted out with 100 berserkers like someone yelled, fire sale. I watched them go and shook my head, laughing. These guys aren't just soldiers to me. They have feelings, personalities, dreams, mostly dreams about chopping things, but still, we live and die together. After they left, I tightened security. Scouts within 5 li of the territory, remaining 19 berserkers split into patrol squads around the base. Even with the true sight eye watching everything, I don't leave things to chance. In a world this crazy, even a 0.01% threat gets covered. Eugene stood guard outside my door with his blade. I sat at my desk, closed my eyes, and connected to the true sight eye to watch the show. What I saw next was the most beautiful thing I've ever witnessed. The Mongol cavalry were flying across the terrain. Ride the Stormlands made them so fast, they were practically teleporting. Within minutes they reached the hidden bandit cavalry. 2,000 elite riders in full chainmail, the pride of Red Fong Fortress, the unit that terrorized countless lords. They felt the ground shake. They looked up. They never saw what hit them. 3 volleys of arrows screamed through the air at impossible speed and punched through their chainmail like it was wet paper. 2,000 elite horsemen got pinned to trees and boulders like butterflies in a display case. Dead before they could draw a single weapon. Dead before they even saw the Mongol cavalry. Then, and this part made my breath catch, the cavalry smoothly holstered their bows, drew both curved swords, blades facing outward, flattened their bodies against their horses, and charged through the kill zone without slowing down one bit. Every remaining bandit horse got sliced clean in half. Every pinned corpse got surgically separated, torsos still stuck to trees, legs falling to the ground. Not one wasted movement. Not 1 second of hesitation. They didn't even slow their horses. Just a wave of black death passing through, leaving nothing but silence and body parts. I was hyperventilating in my office. This wasn't a battle. This was art. The cavalry kept going. Didn't stop. Didn't loot. Straight to the main bandit army's rear flank. Same tactics. Same result. Except these guys were even weaker than the cavalry unit. Regular foot soldiers in the back ranks got skewered 3 at a time by single arrows. It wasn't a fight. It wasn't even a massacre. It was pest control. Li Tong, the bandit who robbed me, threatened me, scammed me with a fake token, and promised to come back and crush me. Didn't even have time to turn around. Didn't get to use his precious purple bomb. A curved sword removed his head from his shoulders mid-stride. All those years of scheming, saving, plotting, ended by a blade he never saw coming. Only the fortress boss, that massive, broad-shouldered figure, reacted fast enough. He heard the arrows and dove off his horse without hesitation, pulled out a whistle and blew it with everything he had, calling for his elite cavalry reinforcements. Nobody came, because they were already decorating trees 20 miles back. The Mongol cavalry don't accept survivors, especially ones they missed on the first pass. That's an insult to their pride. The last thing the boss of Red Fong Fortress ever saw was a massive black hoof and the sound of wind splitting apart. Bandit problem solved. The fortress boss's head popped like a watermelon under a Mongol horse hoof. His grave? A hoof-shaped mud puddle. Poetic. Temujin pulled the reins to head for the bandit base camp. Mission almost complete. Just needed to. Thwip, 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 thwip. Hundreds of arrows exploded from the treeline on both sides. Whoever fired them was good. These weren't amateur shots. But good and Mongol cavalry good are different solar systems. Skill activated, master bowmanship. Arrow met arrow in midair. Every enemy shot deflected. But, and this surprised even Temujin, the Mongol arrows didn't hit anyone either. The attackers dodged. For the first time since being summoned, Temujin was annoyed. Not scared. Annoyed. He'd been delayed by 30 whole seconds, and that was 30 seconds too many. Fire. Arrow rain into the jungle. Screams. Heavy thuds. Bodies dropping. But some survived. Temujin split his forces. 100 stayed back, raining suppressive fire. He led the other 100 charging in with curved swords. Then something interesting happened. 2 Mongol horses reared up, injured by hidden attacks. 2 impossibly powerful arrows screamed toward the stumbling riders. But Temujin, who'd been sitting perfectly still doing nothing this entire time, moved. In the same instant those arrows launched, he drew, fired 2 counter arrows, and charged toward the source. He'd been waiting for this, baiting them into revealing themselves. His arrows hit first, then his sword followed. One flash of the blade, one head rolling on the ground. Brother, a man wrapped in tiger skin screamed from the shadows. His arm had been pierced by Temujin's arrow earlier, and he hadn't made a sound, but seeing his brother's head fly broke him completely. Vice Commander Xie Bao. Hunters in animal skins started pouring out of the forest from every direction. Over 1,000 of them, armed with bows and blades, surrounding the Mongol cavalry with murder in their eyes. I was watching all of this through the true side-eye from my office and nearly fell out of my chair. Xie Zhen and Xie Bao, the twin-headed snake and the double-tailed scorpion. Stars 34 and 35 of the 36 heavenly spirits from Water Margin. 2 blue-grade heroes. Actual, named warriors from Chinese literature. Working for the bandits this whole time. This explained everything. Red Fong Fortress wasn't just some random bandit camp. They had legendary heroes commanding hunter battalions. No wonder Li Tong and Tiger Boy were carrying millions in resources. The whole operation was backed by serious firepower. If I hadn't summoned Temujin, my 200 berserkers would have been in serious trouble. Berserkers are strong, but without a general leading them, they're just raw muscle. These hunter brothers were born for jungle warfare. Ambushes, traps, guerrilla tactics. They would have turned the forest into a meat grinder. But they picked a fight with Genghis Khan. Poor life choice. Temujin pointed his blood-dripping sword at the tiger-skinned brother, Xie Zhen, still clutching his headless sibling's body. Why did you ambush my army? Xie Zhen's eyes were locked on the blade still wet with his brother's blood. His voice came out like grinding glass. You slaughtered my master. You decapitated my brother. And now you point your sword at me and ask why. Every word was pure venom. This hatred cannot coexist under the same sky. Fair point, honestly. From his perspective, an unknown cavalry just murdered everyone he served and killed his little brother. I'd be pretty upset too. But he was also very, very dead if he stayed. Xie Zhen ripped the arrow out of his own arm, didn't even flinch, grabbed his brother's headless body, and dove into the thick bushes. Classic hunter escape. Temujin whipped his horse to chase, then slammed the brakes. fired a heavy arrow into the ground ahead. Snap, snap, snap. Massive steel bear traps and hunter snares erupted from the undergrowth. The entire forest floor was rigged with traps. Siejun had prepared a kill zone. Smart. Dangerously smart. Temujin surveyed the situation calmly. Activated Great Unification, the fear aura that makes enemies surrender. Some of Siejun's weaker-willed hunters popped out of hiding, unable to resist. Temujin used them to locate the trap lines, then ordered 10 cavalry to shoot rope-tied arrows dragging wooden blocks across the ground, triggering every hidden trap in the area. Clean. Methodical. 0 casualties. But Siejun himself didn't surrender. Too much hatred. His master dead, his brother dead. No fear aura in the world could override that kind of rage. Great Unification failed on him, which meant Iron Blood activated. All Mongol cavalry stats tripled. 200 riders lined up shoulder to shoulder, drew their curved swords in unison. Bloodthirst saber, ready. The blades glowed red. This man killed Temujin's time, embarrassed his cavalry on their first mission, made them waste precious minutes on traps and ambushes. The Mongol cavalry don't forgive delays. Siejun, brother, you fought hard, but you picked a fight with the wrong army. Iron Blood, active. All stats tripled. Kill everything. Don't stop until nothing moves. 200 Mongol cavalry lined up, blood-glowing swords raised overhead. War horses snorting white steam. They charged. The hunters' entire strategy was built on terrain. Hide in bushes, use trees as cover, lay traps, pick off enemies one by one. Classic guerrilla warfare from men literally born as hunters. The Mongol cavalry's counter-strategy? Cut down every single tree, bush, and blade of grass in their path. No cover? No guerrilla. Problem solved through sheer violence. Help. Run. Please. Screams echoed through the forest as the cavalry steamrolled forward. Their enchanted horses treated the rough terrain like a flat highway. Traps meant nothing. Hiding meant nothing. The jungle that Siejun spent his whole life mastering was being shaved bald by curved swords. Siejun watched from the shadows, realizing his plan was falling apart. He'd hoped to bleed them dry through attrition, snipe one here, trap one there. But with Temujin commanding, the cavalry moved as one unit. No stragglers, no weak links, nothing to pick off. He buried his brother's head and body together in a shallow grave. Blew a whistle signal. His remaining hunters started firing cold shots from random positions. Tickle attacks against triple-buffed 6-star cavalry, literally scratching paint off a tank. When the cavalry was almost on top of him, Siejun made his final call. Different whistle tone. All remaining hunters charged out with steel tridents for a last stand. Hundreds of hunters versus 200 Mongol cavalry in open combat. It lasted about as long as you'd expect. Temujin rode straight for Siejun. Arrow first, blew the man's hand apart. Trident dropped. Before Siejun could even process the pain, Temujin's right sword took his legs. Left sword took his head. 2 clean cuts. Done. Brothers reunited. Both headless. Both dead in the same forest they grew up hunting in. With their leader gone, the remaining hunters collapsed instantly. Minutes later, thousands of headless bodies decorated the blood-soaked jungle. Bull 2 arrived with his berserker cleanup crew shortly after and nearly choked. He thought the earlier scene, bandits sliced in half and pinned to trees, was brutal. This was on another level entirely. No wonder I felt uneasy standing near Commander Temujin, he muttered. Yeah, buddy, you chop wolves into confetti, but the Mongol cavalry makes you nervous. Let that sink in. Temujin didn't waste another second. Activated Ride the Stormlands, 5x attack speed, and thundered toward Red Fong Fortress. With every elite soldier and commander already dead on the road, the fortress was a hollow shell. The sleepy guard on the watchtower felt an earthquake, looked down, and saw 200 fully armored cavalry staring back at him. Then 2 round objects flew up and landed in his arms. 1. The fortress boss's crushed head. 2. Siejun's head, eyes still bulging. The guard stared into Siejun's dead eyes. His brain blue-screened for a solid 5 seconds. By the time the gate exploded inward, he was screaming, "The boss is dead. Siejun is dead. Run." Ruin. Every bandit and wandering lord inside grabbed whatever they could carry and bolted. The ones who tried to fight? Temujin gave one simple order. Males taller than a horsewhip. Kill them all. Females carrying weapons. Kill them too. The garrison that stayed behind couldn't have beaten a Mongol cavalry horse in a fight, let alone the rider. It was over before it started. I disconnected from the true sight the moment Temujin breached the gates. Didn't need to watch anymore. Walked outside, stretched under the stars, and took the deepest, most satisfying breath of my 2 lives. Time to celebrate. I opened the build menu and started placing every building I'd been holding back. First up, the logistics department. Then I upgraded it to level 4 immediately. Ordered Zhang San to empty the food warehouse and prepare the biggest feast this territory has ever seen. Started placing the rest. Council hall, school, marketplace, everything. Wanted to upgrade them all, but realized I was almost broke again. Had to wait for Temujin and Bull 2 to bring back the loot. Story of my life. Earn millions, spend millions, check balance, cry. But I had just enough left for one crucial purchase. I opened the trading page and bought a massive amount of alcohol. You can't celebrate a military victory without booze. And wouldn't you know it, most of the alcohol I bought came from that same mysterious lord, Luo Kursin. This woman sells wolf pelts and liquor? We keep running into each other on the marketplace like it's destiny. I finally accepted her friend request. Didn't read her messages though. That can wait. Tonight is for celebrating. I grabbed a bottle, popped it open, and took a long swig. The burn ripped from my stomach to my skull. Beautiful. The mountain bandits? Erased. The horse problem? Solved. The secret treasure? Activated. Genghis Khan? On my payroll. Moonlight above, danger behind me, and the entire future wide open. I, Xiaoyu, the kid with the garbage talent, just conquered my first enemy in 6 days. And I'm only getting started. Time to build an empire. I stood there looking at my territory and got all philosophical for a second. Less than a week ago, I was a confused transmigrator with a trash talent. Now I had warhorses, legendary generals, a red-tier surveillance system, and I just wiped an entire bandit fortress off the map. 9 provinces, here I come. The throne's up for grabs, and I'm grabbing it. Dramatic inner monologue interrupted by hoofbeats. The hero returns. Temujin rode up, jumped off his horse like 10 feet away from me, sprinted over, and bowed deeply. Lord, I wasted time on those hunters. Please punish me. This man annihilated thousands of bandits, 2 named heroes, and an entire fortress in 30 minutes, and he's apologizing for being slow. The overachiever energy is unreal. I grabbed his shoulders. You didn't lose a single soldier. I watched the whole thing. This is the greatest victory in Huaxia history. Granted, it's also our first battle, but still. Go change clothes. I bought wine. We're partying tonight. He finally relaxed and headed to the barracks. Most of the Mongol cavalry hadn't returned yet. They'd met Bull 2's berserker cleanup crew on the road and stayed behind to help haul loot. Good teamwork. Speaking of Bull 2, he came barreling in later looking like a one-man moving company. Bags on his back, bags in his hands, bags hanging from his head. He dumped everything at my feet, and gold coins spilled everywhere. Lord, berserkers never fail. Yeah, good job. Take all this to the finance department, get it sorted, then come back for drinks. YSSSS. He sprinted off grinning like a kid on Christmas. The finance department, another new level 4 building I'd just placed, immediately went from brand new empty office to complete chaos as mountains of bandit treasure poured in. I sold some gold to get resource points, upgraded the department, and let them handle the categorizing nightmare. Livestock, weapons, materials, valuables, everything needed sorting. The logistics team was busy setting up the feast so the dead monster carcasses would have to wait. It's fine. Priorities, party first, butchering second. Then I noticed the other delivery. Surrounded by Mongol cavalry, hands tied together with rope, stood a group of humans. Men, women, old, young. They looked terrified and exhausted, but mostly numb. Like people who'd seen too much horror to feel anything anymore. What's the deal with these people? I asked a cavalryman. We found them in the bandit prison, Lord. Commander Temujin ordered us to bring them for your judgment. Bandit prisoners. Villagers who got kidnapped, probably forced into slave labor. Lucky timing. The bandits grabbed them recently enough that they were still alive when we showed up. I needed information, so I pointed at a small boy in the group. Kid, come here. Instant chaos. A beautiful woman next to him grabbed him and started screaming through tears. Leave my child alone. Take me instead. He's just a boy. He's just a... A cavalryman pried her off and brought the boy forward. Her sobbing echoed across the whole territory. Great. Now I felt like a Disney villain. I literally just saved these people, and the mom thinks I'm about to execute her son. But I couldn't exactly run over there and explain myself in front of my entire army. Lords don't do that. Image matters. I crouched down to the boy's eye level. This little guy had dried tears on his face, but his jaw was clenched like steel. Fists tight. And he spoke through his teeth. If you hurt my mother, I'll kill you. His right hand was pressed against his sleeve. Something hidden there, shaped like a small blade. I almost laughed. That little knife in your sleeve can't kill anyone, buddy. His tough guy face crumbled instantly. Eyes went wide with panic. I grabbed his wrist, confiscated the tiny dagger, then grinned at him. Now, if you don't answer my questions nicely, I might have to do something bad to your mom. Look, I know that sounds terrible, but I needed honest answers fast, and scared kids don't lie. Sue me. He told me everything. Bandits raided their village, kidnapped everyone, forced the men into labor. His father fought to protect him and his mother. The bandits killed his father. The little dagger was his dad's last gift. Protect your mother. Standard bandit cruelty. These people were just unlucky villagers caught in the crossfire. I looked at his dagger. Finely crafted. Not a peasant tool. His father was somebody. Then, call it instinct, call it a test. I said something cold. Right now, only one of you can live. You or your mother. I didn't even finish processing what I'd said before this tiny boy launched himself face first at the dagger in my hand. No hesitation. No crying. No begging. Just instant self-sacrifice. He chose death in a heartbeat so his mom could live. I caught him half an inch from the blade, my palm between his forehead and the steel. I stared at this kid, maybe 7 or 8 years old, ready to die without blinking. What's your name? He looked up at me, eyes burning, voice steady. Pinyin. My name is Chin Pinyin. I looked at that little face and thought, this kid has more courage than half the lords in the 9 provinces. I looked at this fearless little kid and made a decision. Dug through the pile of bandit loot, found a king's sword, one of the dead lord's starter weapons, and tossed it to him. The sword was taller than he was. He stood there hugging it like a confused teddy bear. That little butter knife of yours can't kill anyone. This can. Stop sneaking around with hidden daggers. I want you to fight your enemies face to face, sword in hand. Get strong enough, and one day I'll make you the governor of one of my cities. So you can protect your mother properly. The kid's brain completely froze. Before he could reboot, I had a cavalryman yeet him back into the prisoner group. After the feast, throw him in the barracks. Then I walked up to the terrified crowd of villagers and made my speech. I don't want your lives. I don't want your stuff. Today, Huaxia territory destroyed Red Fong Fortress. Big victory. We're throwing a party. Since you're here, you're invited. Eat, drink, celebrate. Tomorrow there's a monster attack coming. After it's over, you're free to leave. Nobody will stop you. Nobody will hurt you. But if you want to stay, doors are open. The villagers went from dead-eyed zombies to crying messes in about 3 seconds. Their homes were destroyed, their families killed, and suddenly the monsters who kidnapped them are dead, and some random lord is offering them dinner. Look, I'm not doing this purely out of kindness. A territory needs people. After level 3, upgrades don't just cost resources, they need population, infrastructure, balanced development. These are native-born residents, not someone else's cast-off refugees. Premium citizens. Plus, eventually wars involve armies of hundreds of thousands. Can't build all of them in barracks. You need actual population growth. So yeah, rescue them, feed them, be nice, and hope they voluntarily become my citizens. Classic, win hearts and minds, strategy. Works every time. Sent them off to wash up. The men went first, quick rinse. Women got escorted by female officers from logistics. Everyone gets clean before they touch my feast. I ordered the construction department to convert some military camouflage sheds into temporary housing for them. Not luxury, but a roof and walls beats a bandit dungeon any day. Then things got weird. Some Mongol cavalry rolled up carrying a massive iron cage. 20 square meters. Inside, 9 tiny black cats. What heinous crimes did these kittens commit to deserve that cage? I asked, genuinely confused. The cavalryman saluted. One moment, Lord. He slammed the cage bars and roared. Show your true form before the Lord. The cats first shot straight up in terror, and then, Poof! 9 black cats transformed into 9 human-shaped women with cat ears and cat tails. And they were wearing approximately nothing. Just a few strategic scraps of fabric over the important bits. 9 gorgeous cat girls, trembling and huddled together, looking at me with big, pleading eyes. My nose did something involuntary. What? What is this situation? Cat demons, Lord. Very low level. Found in the bandit fortress. Scout Commander Zhang said you would know what to do with them. Zhang San. That little snitch specifically told them I would handle the cat girls personally. I'm going to have words with that man. My brain started a war with itself. A man cannot. Well, a man shouldn't. A man absolutely cannot. At least not right now. I waved my hand aggressively. Turn them back into cats. Send them to logistics. Get them clothes. They work in logistics now. Out of sight, out of mind. Moving on. Moving on. Finally got a moment of peace. Used it to plan my city layout. Placed brick walls around the territory, separated the military district from civilian areas, modeled everything roughly after ancient Luoyang city map from memory. It looked okay, not great. I'm a warlord, not an architect. Really wish I had blueprints and an actual city planner. I muttered. Whatever, good enough for now. Then feast time. Outdoor banquet under the stars. Main table. Me, Temujin, Zhang San, Bull 2, and all the squad leaders. Below us, hundreds of soldiers, rows of food, rivers of alcohol. I stood up, raised my cup, and addressed the army. Warriors of Huaxia. Today marks our first great victory. It was your bravery that made this possible. Tonight, I reward you with meat, wine, and gold. But remember this. One day, when we conquer cities and crush empires, I will reward you with noble titles and kingdoms. I downed the entire cup in one shot. Every soldier followed. Then the chant erupted. Huaxia, Huaxia, Huaxia. I pressed my hands down, grinning ear to ear. Let the feast begin. I have absolutely zero memory of how I got back to my bedroom. The feast was legendary. Every officer, squad leader, and department head lined up to toast me. Temujin was the final boss of drinking. The man inhaled bowl after bowl of hard liquor like it was water. I kept up for 2 rounds, and then my consciousness left the building. Last thing I remember, the always serious, stone-faced Genghis Khan throwing his head back and laughing. Genuinely laughing. That alone was worth the hangover. Morning. Brain feels like soup. I half opened my eyes, propped myself up, and reached for the nightstand on autopilot. Someone handed me a water cup. I drank it, handed it back, and started to lie down again. Never drinking with Mongolians again. Wait. Who handed me that cup? I live alone. There are guards at the doors. Nobody should be in my bedroom. I snapped awake ready to scream at whatever soldier broke protocol, and 3 cat girls in maid outfits staring at me with terrified doe eyes. All anger. Instantly deleted. Why? Are you in my room? Then I looked under the blanket. Completely naked. Which means someone undressed me and bathed me last night while I was blackout drunk. A cat girl whispered. The logistics director said the Lord's residence had no servants. So she sent us to attend to you. My face went through 17 emotions in 3 seconds. Just, give me my clothes. 3 cat girls scurried out and returned with my shirt, pants, and shoes. Then one of them crouched down and started trying to pull my pants onto my legs. What are you doing? Isn't the Lord getting dressed? Listen, I am a young man. It is early morning. My defenses are at their absolute lowest. And a beautiful cat-eared woman is trying to put my pants on for me. I snatched the pants from her hands. I can dress myself. Everyone out. Now, the most powerful weapon against temptation is distance. Deep breaths. Got dressed. Opened the door. 3 cat girls standing in a perfect row, heads bowed, instantly curtsying. I had no idea what to do with this situation. I'm a lord, yes. IDO needs someone handling meals and daily life stuff. But I was expecting, like, a middle-aged butler. Not this. Who undressed and bathed me last night? 3 of our other sisters. And where are the other 6? 2 are preparing your bath. 3 are cooking your breakfast. And 1 went to logistics to get household supplies. 9 cat girls. All working. All organized. All reporting to me. This is either a dream or a very elaborate trap. I stretched, then froze mid-stretch. Did you just call me master? The smallest cat girl gasped and slapped her hands over her mouth. An older one pulled her behind her back protectively. Forgive her, Lord. My sister doesn't know proper manners. I'll teach her better. No, no, it's fine. First time anyone's called me that. Felt weird. But, if you want to keep calling me that, I won't stop you. No, Lord. We meant no disrespect. Okay. They didn't want to. I'm not going to force people to call me master. I'm not that guy. Yet. Breakfast arrived. Whatever the cat girls cooked was incredible. After days of eating soldier-made slop that tasted like boiled regret, this was a 5-star restaurant experience. The clothes they laid out smelled like sunshine. Everything was clean, organized, beautiful. Having women in the house really does make everything better, I thought while 9 cat girls stood in a perfectly straight line watching me eat. That part was still weird. I told them to sit and eat with me. They refused. We dare not. Of course. After breakfast, I called over the eldest, their big sister, the leader. She carried herself with quiet authority. The others clearly deferred to her. What's your name? Silence. Then, we don't have names. You may call me one. The youngest is 9. The little troublemaker who called me Master stuck her tongue out. Definitely 9. Fine. From now on you're Cat 1. Cat 2. Cat 3. All the way to Cat 9. Cat 1 immediately dropped to her knees. Please take it back, Lord. We've been sold and traded our whole lives. We don't deserve to carry the cat name. I pulled her up firmly. You're my people now. I say you deserve it, so you deserve it. End of discussion, she cried. Thank me through tears. The others teared up too. Then I looked at their clothes. Rough servant fabric from logistics. These were gorgeous women wearing potato sacks. Unacceptable. I checked their sizes, purely professionally, obviously, opened the trading page, and ordered proper outfits. When the delivery arrived, I presented them with black and white maid uniforms. These are your work clothes for inside the residence. I also bought casual outfits for when you go outside. 9 pairs of cat ears perked up simultaneously. They touched the fine fabric with trembling hands, and for the first time since I'd seen them, genuine happiness crossed their faces. I nodded with deep satisfaction. Now it feels like a proper lord's mansion. The peaceful morning lasted exactly 14 more seconds. Zhangsun burst through the door. Lord, the first monster wave is here. Let's go see what this famous first wave is all about. The thing that kills 30% of all new lords every year? I'm curious. I marched up to the city wall with Zhang San, sat in the command chair like a king, Eugene standing guard beside me as always. Activated the true sight eye and scanned the horizon. Beasts. Hundreds of them. Converging on my territory from all directions. The closer ones were moving faster, eyes glowing red, full berserker rage mode. And behind the beast horde? Something more interesting. A few shadowy figures lurking at the back, watching. Demons. Not attacking, just observing. Scouting the new lord to see how strong I was. Think you can just peek at my territory and leave? Buddy, once I'm done with these animals, you're next. I need the resources. Demons are way worse than beasts. Smarter, stronger, more vicious. Humanity and beasts can sometimes coexist. With demons? It's kill or be killed. Every lord is expected to attack demon caves as a civic duty. Up north, thousands of high-level lords built an endless chain of fortress cities stretching thousands of miles to hold back the demon hordes. They call it the Great Wall. And the frozen demon-infested north? The demon marsh snowlands. But high risk means high reward. Demon caves pump out resources and rare items once captured. Very worth the effort. I filed that away for later and focused on the battle. Temujin, how much experience until you level up? For 100 points, Lord. He needed 1,000 total to go from level 1 to level 2. Massacring the entire Redfang fortress only gave him 600. 6-star heroes are expensive to level. I suddenly wanted more beasts to show up. I was this close to running into the wilderness screaming, "Come fight me." I positioned 200 Mongol cavalry spread across all 4 walls for range coverage. Then the genius battle plan. Bull 2. Take all berserkers outside the gate. When the beasts arrive, chop. Yes, Lord, finally. Berserkers had been going crazy with nothing to kill. They practically sprinted out the gate. Mongol cavalry. Watch the berserkers fight. When a beast is almost dead, steal the kill with an arrow. Take the experience points. Berserkers do the work. Cavalry steals the last hit for the XP. It's the oldest trick in gaming. Shooters really do need a support, I nodded to myself, extremely pleased with my strategy. Everything was set. I leaned back and waited for the legendary first wave that terrorizes new lords every year. It arrived, and it was pathetic. Mostly basic animals. A few star-ranked beasts scattered in, but nothing impressive. Decent quantity, but the quality was embarrassing. My berserkers were chopping through them like a lawn mower through wet grass. The Mongol cavalry had to fire arrows at light speed because if they hesitated for 1 second, the berserkers would already have the kill. I watched Mongol cavalry archers sweating, not from danger, but from trying to outspeed berserkers at murder. It was the world's most intense kill-stealing competition. This is what kills 30% of new lords, I said, genuinely confused. This? For normal newbies with a handful of level 1 soldiers and no walls. Sure, deadly. For me, this was target practice with extra steps. Disappointing doesn't begin to cover it. I was so bored I started tracking the demon scouts through the true side eye, planning my next conquest, mentally spending money I hadn't earned yet. Then a woman came screaming up the stairs to the city wall, tears streaming, voice breaking. My child is missing. That beautiful mother from the prisoner group. The one who begged me not to hurt her son. The son I gave a king's sword to. The son I ordered thrown into the barracks last night. The same barracks that the berserkers marched out of this morning. To fight the beast wave. Outside the walls. Oh no. Qin Pinyin, you brave stupid little maniac. Please tell me you didn't. The mother came with half her village behind her. I let them up, but I was not happy. I'm in the middle of a battle, and you're bringing a field trip to my command center? Military discipline matters. Give me a good reason, or everyone goes back to the wilderness. She dropped to her knees instantly and started slamming her forehead into the floor. Lord, I know this is the worst timing. But my son, Qin Pinyin, the boy you gave the sword to, he's gone. Someone saw him sneak out behind the berserkers. He's out there in the beast wave. He's just a child. Please save him. He's all I have left in this world. Please. Her forehead was bleeding from the kowtowing. I had soldiers stop her before she cracked her own skull open. Qin Pinyin went outside. Why? I activated the true sight eye and started scanning. Found him almost immediately, crouched behind a boulder in tall grass, gripping a king's sword that was literally taller than he was. Incredibly, he hadn't been detected yet. He was surrounded by basic, unranked beasts that hunt by sight, not by scent. Any star-ranked beast would have sniffed him out instantly. Lucky kid. Then I watched something that made my jaw progressively fall further and further open. The kid took a deep breath, popped out of the grass, scanned his surroundings, ducked back in. Popped out again. This time he didn't duck. He spotted a small monkey, a baby beast on its first ever raid, and stabbed it clean through. One thrust. Dead. Then he immediately relocated to new cover. No hesitation. No panic. Next, a baby pangolin. Dead. A young leopard. Dead. A juvenile python. Dead. Each kill was clean, precise, and followed by an instant retreat to new cover. This 8-year-old was running guerrilla warfare against a beast horde like a tiny special ops soldier. Yesterday this kid could barely hold a knife, and today he's assassinating wildlife. I assigned a Mongol cavalry archer to shadow him. Shoot to save if things got deadly, otherwise don't interfere. I wanted to see how far this kid could go. He started targeting adult beasts. A full-grown mountain cat with razor claws, stabbed through the heart. Dead. Beautiful, I shouted internally. Then, because apparently this child has zero concept of limits, he walked toward a full-grown tiger. The assigned cavalryman drew his bow. No way a child kills a tiger. Pinyin struck first. Aimed for the soft belly. But the tiger twisted, and the sword only went in half an inch on the hip. Bad position. The cavalry archer's fingers tightened on the string. Pinyin pulled the sword out, slashed at the neck. Tiger dodged, lunged with jaws wide open. Pinyin rolled sideways. They went back and forth for dozens of rounds. A tiny blood-soaked boy versus a full-grown predator. I was about to order the archer to end it when I noticed something. Pinyin wasn't fighting randomly. Every exchange was pushing the tiger toward the boulder. Slowly, deliberately, round by round. The instant the tiger's back was against the rock, Pinyin launched himself onto the boulder, raised the sword above his head with both hands, and screamed. Slash. He brought the blade down with his full body weight behind it. The sword buried itself in the tiger's neck. Tiger dead. Yes, I shouted out loud. Couldn't help it. The whole command staff turned to stare at me. By the time Pinyin killed the tiger, the beast wave was basically over. Berserkers and cavalry had cleaned house. I sent a rider to scoop the boy up and bring him back. His mother was sobbing and squeezing him so hard I thought she'd break his ribs. But the kid was standing there holding a bloody sword, scratching his head, looking embarrassed. "Didn't you say yesterday you could barely hold the sword? What happened? Commander Temujin taught me 2 sword moves this morning, and you just went into a beast horde. He said if you want to get strong, start by getting brave." The beast wave seemed like good practice. Plus, I could protect the territory. This child learned 2 sword techniques 6 hours ago and used them to solo a tiger. Obviously, I scanned him with the true side-eye the second he was back inside. Name, Chun Pinyin class. None level. Common level 1 talent. Sword seed. Comprehension of swordsmanship far exceeds normal humans. Sword training progress is exponentially accelerated. Physical enhancement during training is 10x normal speed. Skills, sword arts, form 2, thrust, slash, sword. Seed. A once-in-a-generation prodigy talent specifically designed for sword mastery. This kid doesn't just learn fast. He learns at a rate that makes fast look like standing still. 6 hours of training from Temujin and he went from can't hold a sword to kills tigers. Give him a year and he'll be cutting mountains in half. When he grows up and I give him a military position, he could train an entire army of elite swordsmen. A flying sword corps? Does this world have flying swords? I ruffled his hair and grinned. Red Fong Fortress really was the gift that keeps on giving. First, they gave me 1.2 million resource points. Then a red tier true side-eye. Then 9 catgirl maids. And now a sword prodigy who might become the greatest warrior in the 9 provinces. All from one little bandit camp that thought they could bully a newbie lord with a garbage talent. Thanks, guys. Couldn't have done it without you. Temujin heard about Pingin's tiger kill and strolled over with an amused look. This kid showed up at the barracks this morning claiming you sent him. Lord, I did not send him. Little con artist used my name to sneak in. I saw him carrying a sword, so I taught him 2 basic moves. He picked them up unusually fast. Didn't think much of it. But this. Temujin looked at the blood-soaked boy with genuine respect. When I was his age, I was running from enemies, not charging into beast hordes. Coming from Genghis Khan, a man who survived assassination attempts as a child. That's the highest compliment a kid can receive. Lord, leave him in the military camp. This boy will become one of your greatest assets. Done deal. Pinyin was officially enrolled as a camp errand boy, starting from the bottom. Temujin volunteered to teach him, not just swords, but archery, blade work, and horseback riding. Swordsmanship stays the priority, but a warrior needs to be versatile. When I eventually get a dedicated swordmaster hero, they'll take over his training. With the drama settled, the finance department handed me the loot report. Gold, livestock, grain, sellable beast materials, the usual. But 6 items caught my eye. 5 white summoning scrolls and 1 blue. Most came from Red Fong Fortress, 1 dropped from the beast wave. Save them. I'm doing a 10 pull later. I also confirmed 3 demon cave locations through the true side-eye. Those scouts I spotted during the battle led me straight to their hideouts. 3 caves means 3 permanent resource-generating mines once I conquer them. But the demons weren't making moves yet, so I shelved that for later. First priority, money. Wars are expensive. Feeding an army is expensive. Throwing victory parties is very expensive. My territory still couldn't produce enough resources on its own, so selling loot remained my main income. Star item from the hall. 2,000 sets of black iron cavalry armor from the dead bandit riders. These things gave 120 attack, 120 defense, plus a berserker skill that boosted all stats by 20%. Any random peasant wearing one would instantly become stronger than a level 4 lord. Any mid-tier lord would kill for these. But for me? Meh. I can turn peasants into berserkers or Mongol cavalry. Iron pajamas don't impress me anymore. Listed everything. Also threw up Xiejun and Xieb Bao's blue-grade trident weapons. Priced, tagged, uploaded. While waiting for sales, I opened the chat channel and started scrolling. New lords asking basic questions, alliances recruiting, veterans forming dungeon parties. The usual noise. Then I saw my own name. I clicked. And there it was. A wanted poster. For me. Bounty name. Xiaoyu territory. Unknown level. Level 1. maybe 2, per employer, talent. Garbage critical hit possible location. Northern Central Plains, near Demon Marsh border requirements. Alive for full bounty. Dead for half. Information for 1/3. Reward, 40,000 resource points. It had been updated several times. The bounty kept going up. Current offer, 60,000 points plus a white summoning scroll. Didn't even need to check who posted it. Chen Fong, my beloved school rival, spending daddy's money trying to hunt down a level 1 lord with a garbage talent. Old classmate really holds a grudge, huh? 60,000 points and a summoning scroll to catch a newbie lord still in protection period? That's actually kind of flattering. Also completely pointless since I'm now a level 4 mid-tier lord who could probably flatten his dad's territory. Thanks for the free advertising though, buddy. Really appreciate it. I was about to close the channel when I noticed Luo Kursin, my mysterious fur-buying, alcohol-selling business partner, had been messaging me frantically. Big Shot, are you there? Big Shot help. Please reply. Can I get a discount on that black iron armor? I don't have enough points, but I have blueprints to trade, please. Also, you've been bounty listed by the Red Crow Alliance. Again, I backed out to check. Sure enough, a second wanted poster. But this one was different. Bounty name, Xiaoyu territory, unknown level. Estimated around 6, shouldn't exceed mid-tier. Note, if above mid-tier, reward X5. Talent, unknown possible location. Northern Central Plains requirements. Alive for full bounty. Dead for half. Info for 1/3. Reward, 1 million resource points. 2 blue summoning scrolls. 1 blue grade item. 1 trade partnership slot with the Red Crow Alliance. 1 million resource points. From an entire alliance. They estimated me at level 6 and were willing to pay 5 times more if I turned out stronger. Xin Fong thinks I'm a level 1 loser worth 60k. The Red Crow Alliance thinks I'm a level 6 mystery lord worth 1 million. Both want me dead. Neither has any idea where I am. I leaned back and laughed. Well, I'm on it twice now. That's gotta be some kind of record for day 6. So I scrolled through the chat to understand what I'd accidentally stepped into. Turns out, those black iron cavalry armors I'd been casually selling like discount gym equipment, they're the signature item of the Red Crow Alliance. It's like walking into a pawn shop and selling a bunch of FBI jackets. Everyone immediately knows where you got them. The Red Crow Alliance is basically the mafia of the 9 provinces. Founded by a group of powerful wandering lords over 100 years ago. Their combined strength equals a level 9 territory, possibly higher, since rumors say they've been cozying up to level 10 lords recently. They have puppet lords at levels 8 and 9 doing their bidding. Bandit outposts scattered across every province on the continent. The top-tier lords don't mess with them because why bother? Barefoot people aren't afraid of those wearing shoes. These are desperate wanderers with nothing to lose. The big lords have cities, families, reputations to protect. So the Red Crow leadership plays nice with the powerful and terrorizes everyone else. If you're a mid-level lord, they build a bandit camp next door and slowly suffocate you. Intercept your trade routes. Scare away merchants. Pressure you into becoming their puppet. Classic mafia shakedown. The world has suffered under the Red Crow Alliance for too long, the chat was saying. And I just destroyed one of their branches and sold their proprietary gear on the open market like it was a garage sale, without even knowing it was their stuff. The chat was going crazy. This guy you actually dared sell Red Crow gear? Legend. He wiped out a whole Red Crow outpost? I'm kneeling. Finally someone stands up to those parasites. Bro, turn on anonymous before you say that. Good point. Those wandering lord scum deserve to. Buddy, you forgot to turn on anonymous too. Oh no. Now, the situation wasn't great for me. I'm a secret level 4 lord who just poked a level 9 bear. If they find my coordinates, no amount of Genghis Khan could stop their full army at my current stage. Temujin only has 200 cavalry at level 1. My logistics can't support a real war yet. But, and this is the crucial part, they have no idea where I am. Wandering lords can't use lord seals for tracking. Their outposts move constantly. My wanted poster just says, Xiaoyu, somewhere in northern Central Plains. That's like searching for a specific grain of sand on a beach. And nobody could possibly connect my 3 identities. Identity 1, Huaxia territory, the mysterious lord who unlocked the pioneer achievement and caught a level 9 lord's attention. Identity 2, the newbie with a garbage talent that Chen Fong put a pathetic 60k bounty on. Identity 3. The estimated level 6 lord who wiped out Red Fong Fortress and got a 1,000,000-point bounty from the Red Crow Alliance. 3 completely different power levels. 3 different profiles. Same guy. Nobody would ever connect them. So what did I do? Panic? Hide? Grovel? I listed more Red Crow items on the marketplace. The chat erupted. He's selling more? I asked this man insane. How does he have the audacity? Xiaoyu, I bow to you. No, I kneel. Red Crow Alliance getting their face slapped so hard their ancestors felt it. Someone actually bought it. People are snatching it up. Of course they were buying. Tons of lords hated Red Crow, but were too scared to act. Now someone was publicly humiliating the Alliance and selling their stolen gear at market prices. People were buying just to make a statement. I leaned back, corners of my mouth curling up. Temujin said, to get strong, first get brave, and right now, I'm in the shadows while they're in the light. They don't know my face, my territory, my level, or my talent. They think they're hunting a level 6 lord. They have no idea they're looking for a level 4 territory containing a 6-star gold hero, 200 Mongol cavalry, 120 berserkers, a red tier all-seeing eye, and a talent that breaks reality. You want to hunt me? Get in line. Chunfang's been trying since day 1, and he can't even find the right continent. Luo Kursin messaged me again. Big shot, you're insane. You're actually selling more of their stuff. I smiled at the screen. Yeah, and I'm just getting started. So what did I actually list that broke the internet? Let me tell you. Seller. Xiaoyu item. 130 broken black iron cavalry armors. Comes with 130 severed heads of previous owners. Free bonus. Price. 1 resource point. 1 resource point. For 130 sets of Red Crow Alliance signature gear, plus a complimentary head collection. My berserkers had smashed these armors during the massacre, so they were useless to me anyway. I was going to melt them into farming tools. But since the Red Crow Alliance wanted to play bounty hunter, here's their gear back. Damaged. With the skulls of their men attached. For the price of a single coin. The chat went nuclear, but I didn't stick around. Had business to do. I finally replied to Luo Kursin. What blueprints? She'd mentioned wanting to trade blueprints for the black iron armors, so I'd locked the listing to prevent anyone else from buying. Her reply was instant. She'd clearly been camping the chat window. Oh my god, you replied. I have a farmland evolution blueprint, a blacksmith special evolution blueprint, and a mage tower blueprint. I'll trade any one of them. 3 special blueprints? I nearly coughed blood. I've been out there fighting beast hordes, demolishing bandit fortresses, robbing criminals at sword point, and I haven't gotten a single blueprint. This girl who buys discount fur coats from me just casually has 3? I took a breath and evaluated each one. Farmland evolution would upgrade my agricultural output, badly needed since I've been feeding an army on purchased groceries. The blacksmith special evolution could give my smithy unique weapon crafting abilities, huge for military and commercial value. The mage tower was a special defensive building that blasts enemies with magic during sieges. Cool, but unnecessary since nobody can get close enough to attack me with the true sight eye watching everything within 1,000 li. What grade is the farmland blueprint? Medium grade. Medium was perfect for my current level. My farms were rock bottom quality, 12th grade out of 15. This could bump them up significantly. But I also really wanted that blacksmith blueprint. Special weapons with unique effects? Sell them for profit? Equip my army? The possibilities were endless. Only problem, it was unattributed, basically a loot box. Could evolve the blacksmith into something amazing, or something that makes weapons that drink your blood instead of the enemy's. Yes, that's happened. People have gotten cursed smithies that forge self-harming weapons. Then you have to buy purification scrolls to fix it. Total money pit. But the upside? If you roll well, it's incredible. How much for the blacksmith blueprint? 200,000 resource points. Market price was around 400k. She cut it in half. Smart girl. She was investing in our relationship. Building goodwill with a lord she perceived as powerful. Classic long-term business strategy. I respected the hustle. Deal done. Armors for the farmland blueprint through a private channel, so Red Crow couldn't trace her. Plus 200k for the blacksmith blueprint. From now on, you get first pick on anything I sell, I told her. Really? Thank you, big shot. Fair trade. She gave me a discount. I give her priority access. Business relationships need to be mutual. Now here's the thing I didn't know at the time. and if I had, my jaw would have hit the floor. This little girl, calling me big shot and buying my discount wolf pelts? She was also a level 4 lord. Same as me. But while my territory was a military juggernaut with caveman-level economics, her territory was the opposite. Almost every single building had been evolved and upgraded with special blueprints. Her infrastructure was insanely advanced. Financially, no mid-tier lord could touch her. But her army? Pathetic. Barely any soldiers. The few she had were weak and undersized compared to normal troops of the same level. That's why she desperately needed 1,770 sets of black iron armor. It was the fastest way to give her non-existent military some actual teeth. So somewhere in the frozen north, near the Demon Marsh snowlands, a beautiful girl in a white wolf king fur coat was staring at a mountain of black armor, smiling for the first time in a long time. I finally have a real army. We were mirror images. I had all the swords and no economy. She had all the money and no swords. The universe really does have a sense of humor. Total loot from the entire Red Fong Fortress campaign. About 2 million resource points plus the farmland blueprint. The big-ticket items were the Sieb brothers' blue-grade tridents at 500k combined. Everything else was bits and pieces. Funny thing, Li Tong alone gave me 1.2 million through pure extortion. That's more than half of what his entire fortress was worth. The man spent his whole life saving, scheming, backstabbing, all to restore his lord's seal and rebuild his empire. Then he met me on day 1, and I cleaned him out in 15 minutes. If he knew that the stone pearl he spent years hunting ended up becoming a red-tier true sight eye in my hands, he'd probably resurrect himself just to die of rage again. Anyway, 2.2 million resource points in the bank. Time to build. First up, equip those achievements I'd been saving. Pioneer achievement. Equipped. 2,000 reputation. All citizens 10 physique. 100-fold critical hit triggered. 200,000 reputation. All citizens 1,000 physique. Speed demon achievement. Equipped. 500 reputation. All citizens 5 physique. 100-fold critical hit triggered. 50,000 reputation. All citizens 500 physique. Every single registered citizen of Huaxiao territory felt a warm wave wash through their body. Old injuries healed. Muscles strengthened. Some people who'd been limping for years suddenly stood up straight. Total physique bonus, 1,500 for everyone. My reputation shot to 250,000. For context, that's an absurd number. It means adventurers, merchants, wandering heroes, talented natives, and all sorts of interesting people will start flooding toward my territory. Top-tier talents. Maybe even wandering generals looking for a lord to serve. Of course, it also means enemy scouts and hostile races will notice too. Can't have the good without the bad. Most important building to open, the tavern. Taverns are where adventurers and wandering warriors go first. It's basically a recruitment center disguised as a bar. You can find hidden heroes, hear rumors, learn about world events, and discover secret locations. All from drunk people telling stories. Open the tavern. Stocked it with alcohol bought from Luo Kursen. Naturally. Next, the school. Critical building because it boosts children's growth and has a chance to improve their talents. Problem? I don't have a single teacher on staff. Had to grab a school teacher from the rescued villagers. Not ideal, but better than nothing. And speaking of those villagers, they turned out to be an incredible find. Since they all came from the same village, they already had a functioning social structure. Teachers, folk doctors, hunters, merchants, a complete ecosystem. Every building I opened had someone from this group to staff it. Quality wasn't amazing, but at least nothing sat empty. I spent hours setting things up, built a food street and a commercial district modeled after what I remembered from my previous life. Assigned children to school. Created patrol squads, scouts plus berserkers, for city security and as a warning to any future spy who might wander in. I desperately need an administrative hero. I groaned, half dead from paperwork. One more building to manage and I'll die at my desk. By nightfall, the basic infrastructure was done. Huaxiao territory actually looked like a city now. Time for the fun part. I walked to the agricultural district and pulled out the farmland evolution blueprint. Green light washed over the fields. Farmland upgraded from grade 12 to grade 10. 100-fold critical hit activated. Farmland evolved from grade 12 to grade 8. Crop yield increased by 40%. New plantable species unlocked. jumped 4 grades instead of 2. Grade 8 is high-tier farmland that normally requires a level 7 territory. I'm level 4. Every field I plant from now on produces 40% more with access to special crops. When I scale up to massive farms later, that 40% multiplier will be enormous. Not bad at all. Now the real gamble. I walked to the blacksmith shop, heart pounding, and pulled out the unattributed special evolution blueprint. This thing was a coin flip between, your weapons now have magical powers, and your forge now makes swords that stab their owners. People have literally had their smithies produce cursed weapons that drink the user's blood. Then you have to buy expensive purification scrolls to undo the disaster. I paid 200K for this blind box. Either I'm a genius or I'm bankrupt. Please, I spent real money on you. Give me something good. Deep breath. Blueprint out. Here goes nothing. Your blacksmith evolved into dwarf blacksmith. Nice. But wait, 100-fold critical hit activated. Your blacksmith evolved into Halua blacksmith. The entire smithy transformed in a flash of red light. The plain building reshaped into a squat, thick fortress covered in glowing runes. The roof lowered, the walls thickened, and out walked 12 stocky figures. Maximum height about 4 feet. Absolutely jacked with muscle, magnificent beards, and iron hammers that looked heavier than they were. Greetings, Lord Halua, the legendary master craftsman from the distant southwest. Born with hammers in their hands. Nobody in the entire 9 provinces knows forging better than these guys. I pulled up their interface, and my eyes nearly popped out. Halua blacksmith shop level. For staff, 12 Halua craftsman special abilities. Forge higher quality items than normal. Can enchant crafted weapons. Chance to research new item blueprints. 20,000. Resource points. I paid 200K for the blueprint and got back a building worth millions. Higher quality items means same materials, better output. Enchanted weapons means every sword, axe, and spear that leaves this forge can carry magical properties. Fire damage, lightning strikes, healing on hit, whatever the enchantment rolls. A soldier with an enchanted weapon basically gets a free extra skill. Imagine my entire army equipped with enchanted weapons. Berserkers with flame axes. Mongol cavalry with lightning-imbued swords. The damage output would be astronomical. And for demons specifically, enchant weapons with holy light attribute and demon killing becomes a joke. When I eventually build a branch city at the Great Wall in the north, I'll be the most valuable lord on the entire defensive line. Plus they can research new blueprints. These little bearded geniuses will keep innovating, designing stronger and stranger equipment over time. It's a gift that keeps giving. The gambling gods smiled upon me today. 21 for a legendary forge. Bargain of the century. I need to be nicer to Luo Kursin, I muttered. Without her half-price blueprint, I'd never have discovered my talent works on building evolutions too. Every new mechanic I uncover makes this garbage talent more broken. I was basking in my victory when the true sight I pinged something alarming. Demon scouts. Lots of them. Creeping toward Huaxia territory from all 3 nearby demon caves. And after the Halua blacksmith appeared, all 3 caves went into absolute frenzy. Activity levels spiking off the charts. See, demons attack territories based on value. The more powerful and resource-rich your territory is, the more delicious your Lord Seal crystal looks to them. They use it to evolve their caves. Strong soldiers' flesh and blood makes demons stronger too. That's why humans and demons are eternal enemies. Humans raid caves for resources. Demons raid territories for evolution fuel. It used to be worse. Way worse. There was a period where demons discovered that while strong soldiers are hard to kill, weak civilians are free snacks. 1 villager doesn't help much, but 100,000? A million? Demons started bypassing Lord territories entirely and just massacring native populations. Entire villages. Entire cities. Millions of people turned into demon food. The continent became a literal hell on earth. The top-tier lords eventually stepped in, not out of kindness, but because the chaos was hurting their bottom line and the fattened-up demons were now worth farming. They cleaned house, negotiated a ceasefire with the outer demon lords beyond the Great Wall, and things stabilized. But the hunger never went away. And right now, my territory was lighting up on every demon radar within 1,000 Li gold tier hero, 6-star troops, Halua Forge, evolved farmland, massive reputation. To a demon, Huaxia territory was an all-you-can-eat buffet with a neon sign. All 3 caves deployed maximum scouts. They couldn't resist. Temujin spoke up in the war room. "Shall I eliminate the scouts, Lord?" I leaned back with a confident smile and waved him off. "No. Let them look. Let them see everything. This is the last time they'll get the chance." I'd been tracking their scouts for days. Every movement, every patrol route, every cave entrance, mapped through the true sight eye. I knew their exact troop counts, their guard rotations, their weak points. 3 demon caves, 3 future resource mines, all within my surveillance range. All about to learn a very expensive lesson about who they're trying to eat. You came to my doorstep? Fine. But you better be ready to pay with your lives. Tighten security overnight. Can't have demon scouts sneaking in and snacking on my civilians. Next morning, I had the berserkers catch a few demon scouts alive. Time for a science experiment. They brought me a purple-skinned rat creature in armor, standing upright like a person, reeking of pure evil, razor teeth, glowing red eyes. Even captured and terrified, this thing looked at my elite soldiers and started drooling. "You're literally a prisoner, and you're thinking about eating my guys?" Bold move. I sliced half its face off. Squeak. But here's the creepy part. No blood. Black smoke oozed from the wound, and it started healing. The face grew back. So I cut it again. Healed. Cut again. Healed. Cut again. After about 10 cuts, the healing slowed to a crawl. The black smoke could barely keep up. When it finally gave up, I took the whole head off. The body kept moving, headless, thrashing around like a broken robot. Temujin hit it with a skill attack, one flash of his blood-enchanted blade. Instant death. The black smoke didn't even try to heal the wound. It was afraid of the enchanted weapon. Interesting, regular attacks barely scratch demons. Only enchanted weapons and skill-based attacks can truly kill them. Good thing I literally just got a forge that enchants everything it makes. I pulled out a hollow-crafted ice-enchanted dagger and stabbed the remaining demon prisoners. 1 hit, 1 kill, every time. Beautiful. Science experiment, complete. Findings. Enchanted weapons are demon kryptonite. Temujin. Bull 2. Take your armies. 2-pronged assault. Surround all 3 demon caves. Go. Yes, Lord. They split up. The Mongol cavalry, being faster, reached the first cave ahead of everyone else. The demon leader, a purple rat boss, barely had time to process his scout's panicked warning before a curved sword removed his ability to process anything ever again. Vermin dare spy on Huaxia? Then die. I was back in my office eating grapes that Cat 9 was handing me, watching the whole thing through the true sight. I like it was premium streaming content. Best show I've ever watched. First cave, obliterated. Temujin left a 20-man guard squad and moved on. For the second cave, I'd ordered them to intentionally let the scouts escape and report back. I wanted to see how demons fight when they're prepared. You know, for educational purposes. Temujin arrived, surrounded the cave, and waited for the berserkers. Bull 2 showed up covered in black smoke instead of blood this time. Demon residue from smaller kills on the way. "Sorry for the wait, Commander." "No problem. Begin." Bull 2 gave the signal. Every berserker's muscles inflated. They threw their heads back and roared, then charged in with twin axes swinging. The Mongol cavalry formed a perimeter ring, shooting anything that tried to escape. The fully prepared demons lasted about as long as you'd expect against 6-star cavalry and unlimited berserkers. 3 notification chimes in rapid succession. Your Mongol cavalry conquered a demon cave. Your berserkers conquered a demon cave. Your combined forces conquered a demon cave. Mongol cavalry promoted to level 2. Berserkers promoted to level 3. All 3 caves conquered. The construction team moved in immediately, converting each cave into a resource-producing mine for Huaxia territory. Cave 1, 20,000 resource points per day. Cave 2, 30,000 resource points per day. Cave 3, 50,000 resource points per day. That's 100,000 resource points daily. Passive income. While I sleep. Every single day. Temujin marched back with 3 demon lord heads to add to my growing skull collection. The trophy wall was getting pretty impressive. Bandit boss, hunter brothers, 3 demon lords. Interior decorating with extra steps. I rummaged through the cave loot. Mostly basic stuff. These were low-tier caves. But cave number 3 dropped something special. 2 summoning scrolls instead of 1, including a blue, combined with everything I'd been hoarding. 8 white summon scrolls. 2 blue summon scrolls. 10 total. I stared at my inventory with the giddiest grin of my entire 2 lives. Finally, I have enough for a 10 pull. No gacha player's life is complete without a 10 pull. This is the moment. The big moment. 10 summons at once. Talent multiplier ready. Level 4 territory boosting the odds. Whatever comes out of that altar next is going to change everything. Let's go. 10 summoning scrolls on the altar. The moment I've been waiting for. I closed my eyes and began my sacred prayer. Gacha gods, hear me. Lucky streak, activate. Unlucky spirits, begone. Big money, no whammies. I hereby sacrifice 30 years of Chun Fong's lifespan for one perfect 10 pull. Summon. The notification started rolling. White Hero, Duan Jingzhu. White Hero, Bai Shang. White Hero, Wang Dinglu. White Hero, Zhang Qing. White Hero, Shi Yong. White Hero, Li Yun. White Hero, Sun Exine. White Hero, Jiao Ting. White Hero, White. 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 8 whites in a row. My talent triggered once out of 10 pulls. One time, the so-called 100-fold critical hit, decided to take a coffee break during my most important summoning session. Critical hit activated. Blue Hero, Shi Qian. Blue Hero, Li Kuei, 2 blues. 8 whites. That's it. That's the 10 pull. I stared at the roster and wanted to vomit blood. Then it hit me, my prayer. I offered 30 years of Chun Fong's lifespan. But Chun Fong probably doesn't have 30 years left with how many enemies he's making. I basically paid with a bounce check. The gacha god saw through my fraud and punished me accordingly. Note to self, next time, offer something real. I opened each hero's stat page hoping for hidden gems among the whites. Nope. Garbage. Absolute bottom-of-the-barrel water margin characters. The kind of guys who show up in Chapter 80 and die in Chapter 82. But, and this is the beauty of being a lord, even trash heroes are still heroes. They have skills. They have roles. Time for creative waste management. Wang Dinglu. In his original story, he ran a tavern. Skill set, tavern-related. Perfect. You're the bartender now. Go manage the pub. The real surprise was Li Kuei, the Black Whirlwind himself. His skills made me actually excited. Black Whirlwind. AoE attack that hits everything, enemies and allies. 300% damage against light armored targets. Highway robbery. Increased chance of detecting passing merchant caravans. This man is a walking war crime. His main attack doesn't distinguish between friend and foe. Put him in charge of a real army, and he'd kill half his own soldiers mid-battle. He's unusable in conventional warfare. But for banditry, he's perfect. An idea exploded in my brain so hard I slapped my own thigh. If the Red Crow Alliance can rob people, why can't I? Li Kuei and these water margin outlaws are literally designed for highway robbery. Their skills synergize around ambushing, intercepting caravans, and causing chaos. Putting them in a regular army would be stupid. Putting them in a bandit camp? Chef's kiss. Red Fong Fortress was still standing. I looted it clean, but never burned it down. Send Li Kuei and the 7 other throwaway heroes there with some soldiers, slap a new sign on the gate, and boom, Water Margin Mountain, open for business. A bandit outpost under MY control, blocking the approach to my territory. Later, when I hit level 5 and can build branch cities, I'll put a military fortress on the other side. Bandit camp in front, army base behind, Huaxia territory safe in the middle. Perfect defensive formation. Li Kuei, take these 7, pick some soldiers, march to the old Red Fong site, and establish a mountain fortress. Name, Water Margin Mountain. Leave immediately. Yes, Lord. Li Kuei's eyes were shining. This man was born for bandit life. Now, the 2 heroes actually worth keeping. Shi Qian, the flea on the drum. Blue grade, upgraded from white by my talent. Skills, wall climbing infiltration and shrinking his body for enhanced thievery. A literal spy/thief hybrid. He can sneak into enemy territories, steal intelligence and valuables, then vanish. Not strong enough for late-game combat, but absolutely perfect for building an intelligence agency right now. Shi Qian, you're founding the Intelligence Bureau. Recruit agents. Spy on every territory, organization, and demon cave you can reach. Yes, Lord. He grinned like a man who'd found his calling. So the final tally from my 10 pull: 1 tavern manager, 1 spy chief, 1 bandit king, and 7 bandit minions. Not the legendary haul I dreamed of, but honestly, every single hero found a role. No waste. The intelligence network alone could be worth more than a purple hero in the long run. Huaxia territory now has a legendary forge, evolved farmland, 3 demon mines generating 100k daily, a bandit outpost for highway revenue, a spy network, a tavern attracting wandering talent, and schools training the next generation. Not bad for a kid with a garbage talent, who arrived in this world 8 days ago with nothing but underwear and a dream.